For 37 years, Rosenblatt Stadium has been the place that NCAA Division I college baseball players and coaches have dreamed about. It's the home of the College World Series, and for many of those players, it's provided their moment in the sun.
I had planned on playing a little bit, but you know, the new guys came in, and when the season started, they started a freshman, Frank Dominguez, ahead of me. And I sort of just sat back and said to myself, you know, hopefully someday I'll get my shot. But the dream of being in Omaha, no matter if I was playing or not, was, you know, was a dream to get back there and possibly win it.
Well, you know, he was not in the lineup there at that first ball game. We were going to play Stanford, but then I saw him at BP, and he was just crushing the ball. And I figured, well, what the heck? Changed the lineup and put him in the lineup, and of course, the rest is history.
Curveball hit high and deep to center field. Davis going back. That ball's over his head and over the wall. It's another home run for Greg Alina.
We were down one game against Mississippi State, and the thoughts that run through my mind, you know, something like hitting a home run in the last inning to win a ball game it's a long shot. It's a dream amongst dreams. I mean, you know, just getting to Omaha is a dream, but doing something like that is a bigger dream.
Hit high and deep to left center field. Back they go in the outfield. That ball is gone. The ball game is over. Miami wins it 6-5 on a two-run homer by Greg Alina.
Heading into the championship game, after going 0 for 3 the night before, I said to myself, you know, not going to get me out. I'm going to be a big influence in this game.
And here's Alina. He is 3 for 3 in the ball game. Has 11 hits in the World Series. He's 11 for 23. What a series he's had. Make it 4 for 4.
Coming from a small hometown in Gibsonia, Pennsylvania, I mean, the biggest thing was you were considered great if you were the best in the county. And this was something for a national title. I've done a lot of things in my life, but I've never reached anything as high as this.
It was a dream come true for Greg Alina last year. It's a dream come true for many other college baseball players this year as they come to the 1986 NCAA College World Series. Welcome to the Diet Coke College Baseball pregame show, brought to you by Diet Coke. Enjoy Diet Coke. You're going to drink it just for the taste of it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 1986 NCAA College World Series. I'm Sam Rosen. This is the 7th year that ESPN is telecasting the College World Series, and proud to be doing it. This is a double elimination tournament, 2 losses, and you're out. We've got a real good field for you and a lot of exciting baseball ahead in the upcoming 10 days. Working alongside me is former coach and former minor league star Rick Wolf. And Rick, this is a first for several of these teams in the tournament. What about the pressure on those teams?
Well, there's no question the pressure is all throughout the College World Series. But, you know, everybody always asks, Sam, what's the real key to success here? How do you win the national championship? All these ball clubs have one outstanding pitcher. The real key is number 2, 3, 4, and 5 guys. If they can handle the pressure, they can go all the way.
Now, the teams who are here for the first time, including the 2 that are playing the first game tonight, Loyola Marymount and LSU, can the coaches offset some of that pressure?
Well, they're going to have to. Now, history tells us that only one team has come into the World Series for the first time and won it all. That was the University of Minnesota back in '56. And ironically, the star of that ball club, Jerry Kindle, is here now as the coach of Arizona.
And the coaches of the 2 teams in Game 1, Skip Bertman of LSU, Dave Snow of Loyola Marymount, were with teams as assistant coaches who won the national championship. As I mentioned, it's a strong field this year. Let's take a look at it. The Black Bears of Maine, coached by John Winkin, won the Northeast Regional in Orono, Maine. They're in Omaha for the 5th time in the last 6 years. Florida State comes to the College World Series ranked #1 in the nation. Mike Martin's Seminoles won the South 2 Regional in Tallahassee, Florida. Gary Ward did an outstanding job rebuilding his Oklahoma State Cowboys this year. They won the Midwest Regional in Stillwater, Oklahoma. The Miami Hurricanes are back to defend their national championship. Ron Fraser's team won the Atlantic Regional in Coral Gables, Florida. It's the first trip to Omaha for the Indiana State Sycamores of Bob Warren. They took the Mideast Regional in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And Arizona is back. The Wildcats of Jerry Kindle went to Austin, Texas to win the Central Regional. Game 1 of the College World Series features LSU and Loyola Marymount. We'll be back to look at those teams in just a moment. We are moments away from the start of Game 1 of the 1986 NCAA College World Series. LSU comes in ranked number 2 in the nation. A very strong showing for them this year. Loyola Marymount, kind of a surprise out west.
Yes, they definitely were. They went through a very tough region to get here, but they are here, and that's all that matters.
Now, LSU, a real solid ball club. We saw them earlier on ESPN.
Well, they're terrific. And the kid I really like is this kid Joey Bell, the right fielder. He is a fearsome prospect. Tremendous power. He already holds the career home run record at LSU. He's only a sophomore.
That's number 3 in the order. A lot of power. Now, we're talking about power for Loyola Marymount. Their third baseman, Chris Donalds, has a lot of power.
Another sophomore, very disciplined hitter, holds the season record for home run and RBI. Boy, he's a good one, Sam.
Okay, the coaches, as we mentioned, are here as head coaches for the first time. Skip Bertman of LSU and Dave Snow of Loyola Marymount. They are down on the field with Irv Brown. Let's go to Irv.
Thank you, Sam. Dave, would you rather be sitting and watching this one, or you're going to open it up?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'd just soon be out here on the field. I get nervous sitting up there in the stands watching the caliber of team that's here. I just soon be out here hooking it up. I wish we'd have drawn a little easier opponent. Skip's got a good ball club. He's loaded.
Stroking you already, Skip. Same question. Would you rather be sitting and watching, or do you want to open up?
I agree with Dave about the opening up part. I'd rather open up than watch, and haven't been here before. I think it's much better to get your feet in the ground than the first one. But it's a long way back if you don't win that first one.
Good luck to both you guys. Sam, they're ready to go. You guys have a good one.
Okay, we are just about set to go. What type of ball game are you looking for, Rick?
Well, you got 2 excellent pitchers going. Tim Layana for Loyola Marymount. He is a sinker ball pitcher. The key to him, Sam, he may be pumped up early. If he is, that ball will stay up high and it will get hit. And, of course, for LSU, Mark Guthrie, he's a veteran left-hander. He's had some problems his last 2 outings, but he is LSU's best pitcher, a control pitcher, throws the ball around 85, 86, and look out for that move to first base.
Okay, we are set to go with game number 1 of the 1986 NCAA College World Series here at Rosenblatt Stadium in Omaha, Nebraska. Tonight's Diet Coke College Baseball pregame show has been brought to you by Diet Coke. Enjoy Diet Coke. You're going to drink it just for the taste of it. Stand by. The NCAA College World Series is set to begin with LSU and Loyola Marymount.
And on the mound, Tim Loyola.
Loyola is second in the nation in wins with 17. His earned run average 4.11, 133 strikeouts, and 62 walks. And that's a statistic you like to see for a pitcher, that good 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Loyola, record of 17-2. And leading off, the center fielder, Mike Papajohn.
And speaking of Loyola, Sam, he has completed 12 games of 17 starts, and he's also had 5 saves. He pitches an awful lot for Loyola Marymount.
First pitch of the 1986 NCAA College World Series is fouled at the plate, strike one. Mike Papajohn spent a good portion of the season batting in the number 9 position. He's got pretty good speed. A threat to steal if he gets on. And as you saw, has lifted his batting average. He's up at 305. Good fastball popped in the infield. The second baseman is over and makes the catch. Bobby DeJarden putting it away, and there's one man out. For LSU, Mike Jenkins is coaching at first base.
It looks like Smoke Laval over at third, Sam.
That's right. Ray Laval is Skip Bertman's assistant coach. Shortstop Jeff Rabelais, one of the real leaders on this LSU team. Rabelais, a contact hitter, coming into the ball game hitting at 296. Has 47 walks. It's down low.
Well, let's go to work right now on Loyola. As I mentioned, he is a sinker ball specialist. He has somewhat of a history of getting that ball high early on, particularly when he's psyched up. And of course, he's psyched up right now, being in the College World Series.
Inside, 2-1. Loyola in his 4th year at Loyola. Jeff Rabelais, the co-captain. Loyola was 8-8 last year, but has made significant improvement. Just a matter, they say, of confidence.
Well,
believing that he can win.
The whole team has had some change in their performance.
Rabelais with a good eye at the plate. It's 3-1.
Last year, the Lions were barely 500. This year, right to the College World Series. In fact, both these ball clubs have made remarkable progress in just 2 or 3 years' time.
Skip Bertman has done an outstanding job at LSU. 3-1 to Rabelais. Got the strike at the knees. It's Dick Zivick calling a home plate, calling balls and strikes. Count is full. Outfield shades Rabelais a little towards right field.
You see Jim McEnany looking to the bench for this pitch. The signs.
On the ground to short. Fraticelli across the poke. There's 2 men out. That's Dick Zivick, the home plate umpire for game 1. Hank Roundtree at first. Dan Peterson is at second. And Robert Nelson is the third base umpire. 4 umpires used in the College World Series. And here is Joey Bell, the man we talked about. He was the MVP in the South 1 Regional. Had 4 home runs and 11 RBIs in the Regional. Hits the ball hard to all fields. Inside corner. Good pitch by Loyola.
Bell has excellent power. He will jerk the ball on you if he throws inside, but if you go away with him, he'll go to right field as well and put the ball out of any ballpark.
They give Bell the right field line. A lot of room down the right field line. Good fastball by Loyola.
They play him as a dead pull hitter. And as you mentioned, Sam, the right fielder, Bruschi, is way over in the right center field gap.
Loyola ahead of Bell 0-2. That one is hit deep to right field. That's going to be in there. That's up against the wall. Bell is on his way to second. Played well in right field by Bruschi, and Bell is in there. Bruschi has got an outstanding arm in right field. Played the carom off the wall beautifully. And Bell had to go in with a head-first slide, but there was the power to right field that we talked about.
As we said, Joey Bell hits the ball to all fields. He brings that front foot up, really smacks the ball off his back foot. And Bruschi, like a veteran out there, like he's played here all season, fires a bullet, a strike to second base, and Bell just barely in there.
2-out double for Joey Bell brings up the first baseman and cleanup hitter Jim Bowie, who leads the team with a .366 batting average. Good power, 16 homers, 62 RBIs. Leads the team with 86 hits. Breaking ball over.
Good pitch that time by Leona. Again, he has to get in that groove. He wants to throw ground balls, keep these guys off stride. All these Tigers hit fastballs very well.
Bowie, another man who hits to all fields. And they play him straight away. Just missed outside with a fastball.
He's living dangerously up there. Bowie is a very consistent hitter. Has a short stroke. Not the world's greatest baseball body. We'll talk about more later on, Sam. Left-hander Mark Guthrie.
Mark Guthrie, Jr., with a record of 9-1. Earned run average 4.26. And has struggled his last few outings because of that injury that Rick talked about to his middle finger on the pitching hand. Carl Fraticelli, the shortstop, leads it off for Loyola Marymount. He's a sophomore from Kailua, Hawaii. His second year at Loyola, and what a good year it's been, hitting .340. Fastball down low, counts 1-1.
We've got a contrast, of course, in pitching styles. Guthrie is the hard thrower, really pushes off that rubber. It's the middle finger on his pitching hand the tendon was strained. He has a problem sometimes throwing the breaking ball because of the rotation off the finger.
On the ground is short. Rebele on the high hop. Across to Jim Bowie, there's one man down.
Now Guthrie, his last 2 outings was rocked pretty good because he couldn't get the good rotation. Of course, when you throw your breaking ball, you want to get that good rotation off the middle fingers.
They pitched that game against Florida State a little less than 2 weeks ago, and they seemed to pitch well in that game. But in the regional, he had 2 outings, and both times got hit pretty well.
Now remember, against Florida State, he only pitched 3 innings, Sam. You can get by with a fastball for 3 innings.
Jim Holler in the left fielder, a senior, is hitting .360. Steps in. Fastball, a good one from Guthrie. He's up around 88 miles an hour with a fastball. Holleran is from Los Angeles, leads the team with 78 hits. Guthrie, as we mentioned, 9-1 record this year. 117 strikeouts, hit in the air, foul down the right field side, back into the stands. Good souvenir, good catch out there. Stands are filling up slowly here in the first game of the doubleheader. Earl Frischman is the coach at first for Loyola Marymount. Chris Smith is the coach at third. The head man is in the dugout, Dave Snow. Second game coming up later on ESPN. John Sanders and Joe Morgan will bring it to you. The Black Bears of Maine, the Wildcats of Arizona. Maine did not make it here last year after having made it 4 years in a row prior to that. And the Black Bears are back in. Wildcats of Arizona lost 2 straight last year, and they're back. Jerry Kendall leading them. In the dirt with that breaking ball. Count is full, 3-2 on Jim Holleran.
Now you saw Guthrie throw his breaking pitch. His curveball is his out pitch. And the last 2, one just missed down low. That one, of course, in the dirt. He's going to have to fine-tune that, adjust himself to the mound, make sure he releases that curve just a little bit higher, so it calls over for a strike.
Fastball popped up in the infield. Going back is the second baseman, Burke Broussard. Has a little trouble with his son, but makes the catch.
Sam, let's talk about that sun for a second. The sun is directly overhead, and it's very bright here. Any ball at this time of day in the outfield, shallow, infield, very difficult to fight that sun off. Even if you're experienced at it, as these guys are, the brightness can really cast a glare.
Here's Billy Bean, the center fielder and leading hitter on the Loyola Marymount team, having an outstanding year. His 4th year at Loyola, hitting .364. Last year he hit .403. Outstanding hitter. He's played all 3 outfield positions, playing center field this year.
And we should point out, this is not the Billy Bean from the Mets organization, and now, of course, the Minnesota Twins.
Twins, right.
This is Billy Bean without an E at the end.
That slider pitch from Guthrie was inside. This fastball is down low. Bean stays in well on left-handers. See how Guthrie works him. Try to slider first and then a fastball. Looking for the one he wants. Fastball. 2-1.
Well, shook up all the signs. That's an old trick. Sometimes a pitcher will just keep shaking across various signs just to get the batter thinking. And obviously, if you're pitching to Billy Bean, you want him thinking as much as you can at the plate.
That pitch is way up high.
As you see Rob Leary come out with a few words of encouragement, I notice he has that white towel behind his back. He used that a couple of weeks ago against Florida State. There's a good shot of it.
He sweats a lot. He needs the towel. There it is.
Glad to see he's working out there. Glad to see somebody sweating.
3-1 to Bean. Hit hard. Nice play by Rebele. And across to Bowie to get him. Sides retired. The shortstop, Jeff Rebele, taking a base hit away from Billy Bean. And Loyola Marymount goes 1-2-3 in the first inning. At the end of 1 in game 1, there's no score. It'll be Only 5, 6, and 7 coming up for LSU. Tonight's college baseball game on ESPN is being brought to you by IBM and the growing family of IBM personal computers. By Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And by Napa, all the right parts in all the right places. No score as we go to the top half of the second inning.
And Sam, the first adjustment we've seen so far was Tim Layana getting adjusted to that mound, which of course is so critical for all pitchers. He's had to actually add some tape to his pitching toe.
Irv Brown is alongside the dugout on the third base side. Let's check in with Irv right now.
Sam, Rick was talking about the pitching form of Layana. He's having a problem with his mechanics. The last two hitters of the inning previously, Bell and Bowie, he opened that shoulder up, fell off the mound, and he came fat. Double to Bell, and of course Bowie ripped a shot to second. We'll watch him closely. They're trying to correct it. They worked on it very hard between innings.
Well, that's right, Herb. You can see that he's got that foot right on the right side of the rubber. He's got it all taped up now.
Hit on the ground to second. DeJardin over to Steve Polk, one man out. Jeff Yurton, the third baseman, leading off for LSU in the top of the second, grounding out to freshman Bobby DeJardin.
And more significantly, the last three hits or at-bats by Bell, Bowie, and now Yurton, the ball was hit sharply. And if I'm coaching, that worries me, particularly with Layana, who's supposed to be a sinker ball pitcher. A double, a line drive, and that ball was well hit to the second baseman, Desjardins.
Well, I don't know about that. Wasn't all that well hit. Just a ground ball to the second baseman.
He didn't fool him, though. And that's not a good sign either when he goes with his breaking ball and it bounces in the dirt.
What about the tape on his pitching toe? Why would he put the tape on the pitching toe?
Just a matter of getting accustomed to the mound. Now, we often overlook the fact that these guys play in different ballparks. You come here, perhaps the dirt is harder, if there's more gravel, he may have pulled perhaps a blister on his pitching toe, wants to protect himself, whatever it might be. He doesn't want to change shoes, obviously.
The catcher, Rob Leary, stands in. One man out at the top of the second. Pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Leary is a guy who has caught every inning of every game for the last 2 years for LSU. Foul at the plate. Leary was hitting around 360, over 360 just a few weeks ago. He's dropped down. Basically, they say he's tired a little bit, but he is such a clutch performer, an Iron Man behind the plate.
That's one of the most
valuable man for the pitching staff to have behind the plate.
One of the most impressive statistics a player can have is durability and stamina. If you can play every game day in and day out, well, that takes a toll, particularly if you're catching. You always get a little nick and bump here and there. It can really get in the way of your performance. I know when I was playing second base, guy spikes you on a pivot. Next game you get hit by a pitch on the elbow. Every day is something else. Nothing major, but they all add up and take their toll.
Those catchers get those foul tips off the arm and the legs.
No, couldn't pay me enough to catch, Sam.
2-2 to Leary on the ground foul.
And now we're seeing some ground balls here. Perhaps Layana's found his groove, and of course, we should point out that the communication is particularly good between his catcher, McInerney, and himself, since they are cousins. Can you imagine that?
They've been playing together since Little League.
Cousins now in the College World
Little
Series.
League and high school, and now in college. Hit in the air to short center field. Long run for Billy Bean, and he doesn't get there. Leary made the big turn, but goes back. The base hit. Bean made it a good effort, but may have had a little trouble picking the ball up in the bright sun.
We talked about the sun. It is a problem. Bean does play particularly deep center field here. The wind is blowing from left to right, but look how his glove is the wrong way. He can't catch up on anyhow. Perhaps he knows he's trying to trap it.
That's right. I think he saw that he had no chance to catch it at this point. He was looking
wants
to block it.
Sure, because you see, there's no way he's going to catch that ball. Just knock it down. So that's smart baseball too.
One man out, runner at first base. And the batter is Eric Johnson, the designated hitter. Leary is not a threat to steal. It's a short lead. Infield looking for 2 for Loyola Marymount. Slider on the inside corner.
Now keep in mind, though, that Eric Johnson actually is a good right field hitter. They want him to pull the ball more, but you never know with the hit and run.
Johnson is hitting .274, but he's really picked the average up the last couple of weeks. He's hit his way into the lineup. There's 31 hits and 31 RBIs. Inside corner. Good pitch by Liana. Johnson didn't like it, steps out, and takes a walk out of the batter's box.
That's what you want to do. You don't have to say anything. Just take a little stroll, and your point is made.
No score in the ball game. Top half of the second. 1 man on, 1 man out. Up high. Outfield plays Johnson straight away. The infield is up playing, looking for 2.
Look how deep the outfield. Billy Bean is in center field. And the same with Brewski, very deep in the outfield.
1-2 to Johnson. Struck him out with a good fastball. First strikeout for Tim Liana. 2 men out here in the top half of the second inning. Leary is the runner at first.
This is the best pitch that Liana's thrown today. He really breaks it off very sharply. Right straight down.
Rob Hartwig, the left fielder, is in. Fouls it back. Hartwig has taken over last month or so in left field. Has 63 at bats. Had been used in reserve a lot as a pinch runner. In fact, he's got 21 hits and 6 walks, but he scored 41 runs because he's been used as a pinch runner.
He can fly. He runs a 6'3", 60.
On the ground, in the hole, the shortstop Fraticelli to second in time. And the side retired. So LSU gets a bloop single from Rob Leary, and he's stranded at the end of an inning and a half. In Omaha, Nebraska, game 1 of the NCAA College World Series. It's LSU nothing and Loyola Marymount nothing. Good defense on the part of Carl Fraticelli. Take a look at how the teams match up, LSU and Loyola Marymount, with their best years ever. Outstanding seasons. Good hitting ball clubs. Loyola Marymount up to 325. Power apparently equal. The earned run average, the pitching of LSU, one of their strong factors this season. And you see the speed LSU likes to run. We haven't seen it yet, but if they get those men on base, you'll see them try to steal the base and play some hit and run. Go to the bottom half of the second inning. And Chris Donalds, the sophomore third baseman, second team All-America. An outstanding year this year. 20 home runs, 87 RBIs. Like 344.
Sam, I like the way this kid's disciplined at the plate. You notice he keeps that front leg up, keep his weight in his back foot.
Hit hard down the left field side, back in the stands.
And he goes with the pitch, inside or out. In fact, now that he has 2 strikes, they say that he'll actually choke up on the bat with 2 strikes. I haven't seen that since, I guess, Little League or high school days. There's Skip Hertman giving some signs.
To the catcher. Giving him the pitch and the location.
He's choked a bit.
Up high with a fastball.
Your first coach told you 2 strikes, protect the plate.
Right.
And here you see it.
The cleanup hitter with all the power, and he's up on the bat.
Good shot there. Bertman giving the signs over to Leary.
Breaking ball hit in the air. Now the left field line, slicing toward the stands and just over the fence, out of play.
Skip calls every pitch of every game. I imagine either his arm gets pretty tired after a game or his...
I sure hope that they can read the signs, though.
He's pretty quick.
Mark Guthrie looking good thus far early in the ball game. Mentioned. There's the hands.
Yeah, look at this now.
That's the cleanup hitter choking up on the bat and with all the power. Inside with a fastball. Center fielder Papa John is shaded over into left center on Chris Donalds. They're giving Donalds the right field line. 2-2. Breaking ball. Line to left field, a base hit. First hit of the ball game for the Lions of Loyola Marymount.
And you can see why Chris Donalds is such an outstanding hitter. He saw that pitch, he waited on it, he was a bit fooled, and his wrists were quick enough they can still just wait and just slap that ball to left field for a base hit. This is just beautiful hitting. He sees the pitch, he's fooled, keeps the hands back, and then slap. That's all you got to do, Sam.
Stay with that breaking ball. Breaking ball did hang up a little high. Here's Jim Bruschi, the right fielder. He's got good power with 11 home runs. Hitting .328. Leadoff man on for Loyola Marymount. Guthrie's got the good move. In fact, the coaches say he has 5 or 6 different moves to first base.
He will hang that leg up and let the runner commit himself. He'll also come back with a short, quick move off the rubber. You never know with Guthrie.
Almost had him leaning the wrong way. Donalds gets back, and he's pointing toward the pitcher, talking to the umpire at first base, Hank Roundtree.
You can't break that pane of glass between the rubber and first base with that leg.
Donalds has a pretty good lead at first.
Yes, he does. He runs well.
And Guthrie throws over. That's 3 in a row over to first base.
Skip Bertman covers every possibility in this game. In fact, he makes his pitchers work hours on end on their pickoff move to first, both righties and lefty. And of course, it's paid off for Guthrie.
Nobody out, runner at first. Fastball foul back on the check swing by Jim Bruschi.
And that time as Guthrie went to the plate, Donalds actually broke back to first base.
Bruschi's a junior college transfer. This is his first year at Loyola Marymount. Played junior college baseball at Antelope Valley Junior College. Was drafted out of high school. Was drafted in January '85 by San Diego and then drafted by Seattle last June in the 3rd round.
And of course, he has that great name.
Bruschi.
That's a great baseball name.
1 strike to count on Bruschi. Guthrie comes to the plate. Took a little off that pitch. Counts 0-2.
Of course, I don't know whether Donalds is going to run at first base, but curiously, as he takes his lead, he keeps both hands on his knees. Now, as a coach, that would be a telltale sign to you that perhaps he's not going to be running, because certainly if he has his hands on his knees as he takes his lead, he won't get that real good start he wants. You see what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
He has both hands on the knees. Not much of a lead there, of course, but again, you have to wonder, you want to keep those hands off your knees to get a real good break.
Bruschi steps out. Now he's back in and set to go. Count is 0-2. Nobody out. Bottom half of the 2nd inning. No score in the ball game. LSU and Loyola Marymount. Fastball high and inside. Bruschi looking down to third base for the sign from Ray Laval, who's getting it from Dave Snow in the dugout. Curveball got him. Off-speed pitch. Guthrie's first strikeout.
We said
one. third best on the team and batting in the number 8 position. That's not bad to have a number 8 hitter hitting .354. Chance for a couple of RBIs for Polk. Gets it foul down the right field side.
And we're beginning to see some of the problems that Guthrie's having. His fastball is straight. His curveball, he's not getting over for a strike. He's having some problems early. And as we mentioned, he's had problems his last 2 outings.
Count is 1-1 on Steve Polk. Inside with a fastball. Throw down to third. McInerney just back. Quick throw by Rob Leary, the catcher.
Boy, Leary can really just fire that ball right down to third. If he can pick McInerney off third base, of course, it'd be a big break for LSU.
McInerney wasn't off that far. You can see how quick that throw got down there. Counts 2-1 on Steve Polk. Fastball foul back.
Now you see the batter here, Polk, just fouling that ball back. That means he sees the fastball very well. He's just missing it, putting a line drive on the play. He's not getting overpowered. He's not being fooled by the pitch.
Polk has 52 RBIs on the season, 8 home runs. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball off the hands on in the infield. Yurton goes over to make the catch. Jeff Yurton, the third baseman, handling it easily. And there's 2 men out. And that was a big out for Guthrie and the LSU Fighting Tigers.
It sure was, but he still has to.
Marymount here in the bottom of the second. Fastball on the ground, high hop to Yurton at third. Across to Bowie in time, and the side's retired. But Loyola Marymount scores first. They get 3 runs on 2 hits, and the big error by Joey Bell in right field. At the end of 2, Loyola Marymount leads it 3-0. Sam Rosen, Rick Wolf, and Irv Brown at Rosenblatt Stadium in Omaha, Nebraska. Game 1 of the 1986 NCAA College World Series. Loyola Marymount leading LSU 3-0 as we go to the top half of the 3rd inning. Strike 1 called on Burke Broussard, the second baseman for LSU. He weighs in at a hefty 128 pounds. They list him at 140. That could be when he's wearing the catcher's equipment that he borrows.
And the batting helmet, too. But you got to love this kind of kid. He was a walk-on. And Skip Bertman said, all right, sure, we'll give you a few ground balls, kid, see what you can do. And sure enough, he's been the starting second baseman.
He's hitting .266, but he gets on base. 59 hits, 40 walks. Slider stays inside. Count is 2-1. Tim Liana, another second-team All-America. 17 wins this year. Second to Mike Loynd of Florida State, who you'll see in the College World Series tomorrow when Florida State plays Indiana State. Loynd with 19 wins this year. Miami is back to defend the national championship, and we'll have Miami and Oklahoma State in the first game of the doubleheader tomorrow. Bring you all the games of the College World Series here on ESPN. That's the strike. The count is full on Broussard.
Sam, we talked about Mark Guthrie having problems with his pitching hand. Should mention that Tim Liana injured his shoulder about a week or so ago, shagging flies in the outfield.
It's ball 4.
And of course, it was so bad, apparently, that it was so tender they actually had acupuncture treatments done on his shoulder.
That's Dave Snow, second-year head coach at Loyola Marymount. He was the pitching coach at Cal State Fullerton under Augie Garrido, the team that won the 1984 World Series championship.
He makes his pitchers think out there. He makes them set up batters and pitch to their strength, not to the batter's strength.
Good pitch. Breaking ball to Mike Papajohn. Leadoff man on for LSU. Infield playing for 2 with a 3-run lead for Loyola Marymount. Looking for double play. Broussard, who can run, has got a pretty good lead at first base.
Not a bad move to first base by Liana.
Shows him the move that time.
Just a calling card. Let him know he's aware he's out there. They're going to have to hustle to turn 2 on Papajohn. He can really motor.
Breaking ball is blown away. Count is 1-1.
Papajohn, they say, is the most superstitious ball player in the country. I've lost track of the things he does, but one of the better ones, Sam, is that he puts half hour before the game, let me get this right now, half of a lime in one cheek and half a lemon in the other.
Now it's just a slice.
It's a slice
of lime and a slice of lemon. Boy, if you put a whole lemon in a whole lime.
What is that?
He is superstitious. He says his friend says they work. Did them all year and they work for him. Swung and missed at that fastball.
His friend puts, who apparently is Greek, certainly puts curses on the opposing dugouts. But what can you expect? The guy, Mike Papajohn, whose middle name is Plato.
Count is 1-2. Runner at first, nobody out here in the top of the 3rd. Got him on the inside corner. Good pitch by Tim Liana.
Gee, I hope that as you see Papajohn take this called 3rd strike, I hope I haven't blown his cover with the superstitions. He'll never talk to me again.
Ball broke over the inside corner. Papajohn is out of there. 1 man out here in the top of the 3rd. And Jeff Rabelais, the shortstop, steps in.
He's an excellent hit and run man.
Broussard with Pretty good speed at first. Let's see if they put something on, despite being down 3 runs.
As we've mentioned all through the year, Sam, college baseball doesn't necessarily go by the book of Major League Baseball. And certainly it's early in the game. You never know. Certainly down by 3, but the man who hits the ball well to right field with good back control, you never know.
Inside with that pitch. Reveille has a lot of room down the left field line. Right now checking coach at third. There you see the left fielder shaded well over. That's Halloran. Shaded in the left center field, giving Reveille a lot of room down the left field line. Fastball hit over the pitcher's head. The second baseman, DeJarden, makes the play. Double play. Good heads-up play by the second baseman, Bobby DeJarden, tagging the runner, throwing on to first for the inning-ending double play. No runs, a walk, nobody left. End of 2.5. Loyola Marymount leading it 3-0. Loyola Marymount had to come through the losers bracket to win the West Regional. They lost to Cal State Santa Barbara in the first game of the West Regional tournament, then beat UCLA, beat Cal State Santa Barbara again in 11 innings, and then beat Hawaii twice to win the championship. For LSU, undefeated in the South 1 Regional, beating Jackson State, Oklahoma. Fine game pitched by Stan Lower, that is. A complete game, beat Louisiana Tech, and then beat Tulane in a game that was delayed because of rain, suspended and moved to the next day. And LSU came on to win that one 7-6. Got a couple of big home runs by Bowie and Yurton back-to-back in the 8th inning to tie it, and they won it on an unearned run.
And Sam, it's interesting that Loyola, when they came back from the losers bracket, in all 4 games they eventually won, they were down. They had to come back and win. So they are a tough ball club, and they know what it's like to come back under pressure.
Jim Halloran, the left fielder, leads off the bottom half of the third. Count is 1-1. Dave Snow looking on. Breaking ball hit hard in the left field. Hit number 3 for the Lions of Loyola Marymount. Halloran gets back as the catcher ran down to cover first. Heads up play by Rob Leary. Sneaky play.
Well, certainly the catcher is backing up first base anyhow, and Leary just figured, since I'm down here, and it's a big turn by Halloran, let me see if I can just get that throw. And of course you see Reveille. Boy, nice play by Leary to block that ball.
They see that's a set play. You saw Reveille. He didn't hesitate. He turned and threw.
Absolutely, just fired that ball.
But it's a leadoff single for Jim Halloran. And in comes Billy Bean. Outstanding hitter. Breaking ball for a strike.
He too, like Donald's, puts that weight in that back foot. Keeps that lead foot just as a rudder.
Play Bean toward the alleys in left and right. Give him the lines. Fastball rides inside. Guthrie seems to still have good velocity on the fastball. He hasn't been consistent throwing it for strikes, though.
Well, that's why we now see action in the LSU bullpen. Patterson and Kite are up and throwing.
Greg Patterson, a left-hander. Dan Kite, a right-hander. Up for LSU. Quick
throw move to first base.
He stepped off the mound. That's the
off the rubber.
Step-off move.
He's got a million of them out there.
The left foot went off the rubber and did not have to step towards first base on the pickoff move. Halloran the lead at first. 1-1 pitch is a curveball over the outside corner.
Halloran doesn't run much, but we should talk about strategy as we got a glance there at the bullpen.
Patterson, the left-hander. Kite, the right-hander. Patterson throws a little harder than Kite. Kite on a breaking stuff.
You're talking College World Series strategy here. You play every game as though it's your last one.
Well, just not everybody does that.
Well,
you have to realize that because it is a double elimination tournament, you've got some margin for error. Now, Skip Bertman, we've been told, plays every game like it's a must-win situation. Use everybody.
I should qualify by saying I'm talking about these particular coaches.
Okay.
Personally, I would agree, because, you know, it could always rain tomorrow. So why hold out a pitcher for tomorrow or the next day when you may not be playing if it rains? So you play every game to win. If Guthrie doesn't have good stuff today, yank him in the third inning, bring him back in a couple of days.
Breaking ball on the ground. Bowie with a nice play. To Reveille for one. Back to first. Nobody there. And he may have a shot at second. Guthrie's throw is not in time. Billy Beane hustling on the overthrow makes it to second. Guthrie was slow getting over to cover first base. One of his flaws on the mound.
Nice play, the ball inside the bag. But again, as Sam just mentioned, if there is a major flaw in Guthrie, any ball instinctively hit to the right side of the infield, the pitcher has to be breaking for first base. There is no reason at all for him not to be there. Now, Reveille is also guilty. He saw no one was there. Why throw it? Hold the ball, eat it.
Right. Second error of the game for LSU. Here's Chris Donalds. Had a base hit his first time up. Single to left. Scored one of the runs in the second inning. Runner at second with one man out. Scored a fielder's choice in E6. Error to the shortstop, Reveille. Curveball is outside. One man out. Runner at second for Loyola Marymount. The Lions leading LSU 3-0 here in the bottom half of the third inning. Second game of the doubleheader tonight, Maine and Arizona. John Sanders, Joe Morgan, and Irv Brown will bring it to you. Fastball low and away.
LSU has played all year with a very consistent pattern of never beating themselves. In that last play, we saw Guthrie, mental mistake by not covering first base, and Reveille, who's usually a pretty level-headed infielder, there's no reason to throw that ball. Puts a man in scoring position.
Chris Donalds, he's up on the bat again. This is the power man, but he's a good hitter, as we saw his last time at bat. Hits it hard to the second baseman, Broussard. To Jim Bowie, two men out. And over to third base goes Billy Beane with two men out. Irv Brown, what do you see down at your vantage point?
Tell you what's going on down here, Sam and Rick. It's becoming a problem. You can see we're going from light to dark. You're hitting in the shadows. It sure didn't bother Don Ells. He hit the ball pretty sharp. This is a guy that nobody wanted. Chris Smith did a little recruiting while a head coach, Dave Snow, was in Fairbanks, Alaska. I think Dave ought to really thank Smitty, because I like the way this guy swings the bat.
Now the right fielder, Jim Bruschi, steps in with two men out. Runner at third. Fastball for a strike.
No question at all, Sam and Irv, that the key to college baseball at this level is recruiting.
You see the shadow covering home plate now. Coming out of the bright sunshine. Check did not go around as they appeal to the first base umpire.
And of course that shadow will continue out, Sam, certainly with as the sun begins to set. You'll be playing half in daylight, half in the shadows. There you got a good look at it. Makes it very difficult for the batter to pick up that ball once it hits the dark. Your eyes just don't react fast enough to the dim light.
Breaking ball in the inside corner. Count is 1-2 on Jim Bruschi.
Curiously, that actually helps the curveball pitcher as opposed to the fastball
Why
pitcher.
is that?
Well, because the rotation. Obviously, a curve is a deception pitch. Fastball, you can pretty much gauge where it's going to be. But the curve, going from light to dark, causes big problems.
Two men out, runner at third, 1-2 to Bruschi. Low and inside. Hopped out of the way. Billy Beane, the runner at third. Good hustling play to take second base on that overthrow, and then Karam hit the cement top step of the dugout and bounced back to the pitcher Guthrie. Breaking ball, foul tipped. He's still alive.
That's a good look of what pitchers do when they're not in the ball game. They don't play crossword puzzles. I'm sure they'd like to, but Usually the guy who starts the next game has the chore of keeping the chart, keep track of each batter, what pitch is thrown, how he reacts to it, all the inside baseball information. And of course, it's just valuable information we haven't seen another team play before. In this case, Loyola has never played or has not played LSU this year. So this is brand new for both of them.
2-2 to the right fielder, Jim Bruschi. Fastball fouled off on the right field side. LSU bullpen action continues. 2 men throwing. Left-hander Greg Patterson, right-hander Dan Kite, as Mark Guthrie struggles a little bit.
There's no reason to go with the pitcher if he doesn't have his good stuff today. Bring him out, bring somebody else in. You can always bring him back in a couple of days. That's fundamental coaching technique.
Got him on a curveball. It's in the dirt. Leary makes the tag and the side's retired. So Guthrie gets out of it, leaves the runner stranded at third. End of 3 in Loyola Marymount. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors. LSU no runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors. Game 1 of the NCAA College World Series. There's the Maniac. He's from Miami, but he officially becomes the College World Series mascot. Irv Brown is down there. That's not Irv in that uniform. Uh-oh. Watch out, Irv. He's coming your way.
Hey, listen, Sam, this guy wants to have dinner with you and Rick tonight. This is John Ruth, and he's terrific. I tell you what, I talked to him before the ball game. He was as nervous as Skip Bertram and Dave Snow. This guy goes through a little bit of everything. I tell you what, he's terrific. They love him here in Omaha. Listen to folks.
We go to the top half of the 4th inning, game 1 of the NCAA College World Series, with Loyola Marymount leading LSU 3-0. 2 of those 3 runs unearned because of the error in right field by this man, Joey Bell, who lost the ball in the sun, had trouble with it, hit off his glove, allowed 2 runs to score with 2 men out in the 2nd inning. Joey Bell doubled with 2 men out in the 1st. Give him the right field line. He lined one off the wall in right field and was left stranded.
And of course, you know, he's thinking about that error in right field. Joey, who, by the way, Sam, his twin brother Terry's on the ball club. Both just brilliant students. Joey graduated 6th in his high school class. His brother Terry graduated 5th.
Good competition there. They're deep in the outfield on Bell, who went around on that breaking ball by Tim Layana.
He's not there to take any pitches or to put a bunt down. He's there to swing. He'll strike out some, but look at the intensity in his eyes. He's strictly business.
Fastball hit in the air to right field. It's high. There should be no problem, though, for the right fielder Bruschi to put away. 1 out. And he's wearing the sunglasses. There's an interesting shot.
He actually
Bell doesn't wear the sunglasses. Bruschi does.
Well, he actually had some problems with this, but fortunately, you see, he puts the glove up, finds the ball in the sky, has the shades down, and takes his time. Now, he's working out there. That's not that easy a play, even though it was a routine fly ball. That sun is tough.
He's ready for it, though.
Well, he certainly learned from Bell.
That's right. Here's Jim Bowie. Hit the ball hard in the 1st inning, lined out to the 2nd baseman. Hits it on the ground to 2nd base. To Jordan. To Steve Polk. 2 men down. The freshman Bobby DeJarden. That man might play in the College World Series in a few years.
He's a little bigger than Bert Broussard, I think.
2 men down here in the top of the 4th. The 3rd baseman, Jeff Yurton. Yurton has had an outstanding year. Came into the ball game hitting .361. Line drive hitter. Leads the team with 23 doubles, but has occasional power. Hit a big home run in the final of the regional against Tulane. Fouled that one off his right foot.
I like the way this kid swings the bat. He's very quick wrist, keeps the shoulders level. You'll see that he really, in this replay here, you'll see level stroke, shoulders come around. Now he fouls that ball off. He's a little ahead of the pitch. Of course, that stings momentarily. But of course, he's up there swinging on that 1st pitch. good aggressive hitter. I like to see that in a college ball player.
Yurton, a converted outfielder, moved into third base. Done a good job for LSU. Breaking ball is inside. Right-hander Tim Liana pitching a fine ball game thus far. Any questions about his shoulder problems seem to have been erased.
Well, he's falling into that nice groove now. A couple of ground balls and a pop-up has lasted a couple of bats. You see there he had Yurton fooled badly.
Took a little off the fastball that time, and Yurton goes back, wants to get a different bat. Herb Brown, what do you see on the right-hander?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think Rick is right on this. What he's doing, Rick, he's quit overthrowing. He's starting to hit spots now, and except for the base on balls he gave up to Broussard, he really has dominated these guys. But the main thing is he's quit overthrowing, and that's what a sinker ball pitcher must do.
It's a funny thing, Irv and Sam, that with a sinker ball pitcher, you actually don't want him to throw hard, you want to throw him less hard. And that's when he gets more movement on the pitch. And of course that takes tremendous discipline, because after all, you want to come out here and the instinct says, hey, I can throw it by these guys. You got to stay within your limits, stay within your own capabilities.
Fastball is outside. It's 2-2 on Jeff Yurton. 2 men out, nobody on. Top of the 4th. Loyola Marymount leading 3-0. Game 1 of the 1986 NCAA College World Series. Outside, count is full. Game 2. Later this evening, you'll see on ESPN with the Black Bears of Maine going against the Wildcats of Arizona. Tomorrow we'll be on the air at 5 Eastern time with Miami and Oklahoma State, followed by Florida State and Indiana State. Hit in the air to deep left center field. Going back is Billy Bean, and at the warning track he makes the catch and the side's retired. So Liana sets down the heart of the order as LSU sent up 3, 4, and 5, and Liana sent them down 1, 2, and 3. End of 3.5. Game 1. It's Loyola Marymount with Tim Liana throwing the shutout thus far, leading 3-0. Loyola Marymount from Los Angeles, California, leading LSU. Take a look at this drive to deep center field by Yurton. This is a big ballpark, and Bean has plenty of room in center field to run it down.
Bean gets a good jump. Now he's fighting that sun also. He's not the world's fastest outfielder, but you don't have to be fast if you get a good jump on the ball, and he's moving before that pitch actually reaches home plate. He can just tell instinctively where that ball is going to be hit. And so he made a tough play look very easy.
You see a lot of room.
420 in center field. Boy, that's a pretty good poke.
Big ballpark. A lot of teams come in with home run stats that look real good, but then you get here and the fences are pretty deep, a lot deeper than they used to in some of the ballparks that these teams play in.
There's no uniformity to baseball ballparks. I've been a lot of places where it's very short to hit a home run. But in this ballpark, you really got to put a drive, put a charge into it.
Count is 2-0 on the catcher, Jim McInerney. McInerney was hit by a pitch for the 20th time this year in the 2nd inning. That put 2 men on. And then Todd Elliott, the DH, had a double off the right center field fence to drive in a run. And then the error by Joey Bell on the fly ball to right off the bat of Bobby Desjardins allowed 2 more runs to score. Loyola Marymount leading 3-0 here in the bottom half of the 4th inning.
This guy must own stock in ethyl chloride.
3-1.
I mean, you can't really be all there to take those many pitches in your shoulder.
Well, the way he turned, it kind of glances off him. He doesn't take it solid, doesn't take it full, doesn't take the full hit.
I tell you, these catches are a different breed.
On the ground slowly to first. Bowie with the hop.
Attaboy, Boo.
Twisting a little bit, makes the play unassisted. Herb Brown is down the field level, checking things out. What do you see, Herb?
I'll tell you what I see. Mark Guthrie, Sam and Rick, has quit bending his back. Every other pitch he bends the back. He got fortunate on the last pitch because he did bend his back. He got the ball down. He pokes the ground ball. But every time he's high, now that time he's good. but every time he's high, it's because he looks tired. He has quit bending his back. It's been a tough time for him. I went back and checked the gun. He's throwing 84 miles an hour, but it's been very inconsistent.
That's a good point, Irv. When you're a power pitcher, you have that up and down motion. You sacrifice, of course, control for the fact you can have more velocity. Now, Guthrie, throwing about 85, just said, threw that one past Elliott. But certainly, as a pitcher who wants to blow the ball by people, puts a tremendous strain on your lower back. And if you follow that groove, once you lose it, it's tough to regain it.
Guthrie ahead of Todd Elliott. 0-2. Came from the side, dropped down. That's a strange pitch to a right-hand batter, dropping down on that 0-2 pitch. Down as 1-2. Todd Elliott hit a high fly ball that Joey Bell in right field had trouble with his son on. It hit the fence for a double, drove in 1 run in the 2nd inning. Todd Elliott, a junior college transfer, played junior college ball at Pasadena City College, where he led the team in hitting last year with a .420 average. Came into this game hitting .321, 6 homers, 55 RBIs. Fastball got the inside corner. Good pitch from Guthrie, and there's 2 men out. 3rd strikeout for the left-hander, Mike Guthrie.
Speaking of junior college transfers, of course, Loyola Marymount is the only team from California in the tournament. However, we should point out that LSU is full of junior college transfers, many of whom are from California.
That's right.
And wait till you see Arizona's lineup. They're all from California, just about. So,
first baseman Steve Polk popped out in the 2nd inning as Guthrie hit him with a good pitch on the fists. 2 men out, nobody on, bottom half of the 4th inning. Lions of Loyola Marymount leading. Good fastball by Guthrie. And you saw that fastball with some pop on it come out of the sunshine into the shade.
Well, it looked like that time Polk was guessing curve. That didn't have much punch in that swing, just sort of fanned on the pitch. Didn't really mean it, so to speak.
Fastball's inside. Junior left-hander Mark Guthrie. 9-1 season. Fastball on the ground to second. Bert Broussard with a big hop. On the buoy, and the side's retired. 1-2-3 in the 4th inning. Good inning for the left-hander Mark Guthrie, and the side's retired at the end of 4. Game 1 of the NCAA College World Series. Loyola Marymount leading 3-0. Mark Guthrie with a strong inning in the 4th for LSU. This is game 1 of the 1986 NCAA College World Series. Game 2 comes up later on this evening on ESPN with the Black Bears of Maine, the Northeast Regional winners, going against the Wildcats of Arizona, winners of the Central Regional. John Sanders, Joe Morgan, and Irv Brown will bring you all the action, so stay with us all the way through the College World Series. Tomorrow, we'll be on the air at 5 o'clock Eastern Time with the defending national champions, the Hurricanes of Miami, going against Oklahoma State. What a job Gary Ward has done rebuilding his team after losing his entire outfield, bringing in 2 freshmen on the left side of the infield, lost Pete Incaviglia, and Oklahoma State is back again to try for the national championship. Go to the top half of the 5th inning. 2 first-year teams in game 1, LSU and Loyola Marymount. This is the catcher, Rob Leary.
I mentioned, of course, that quite a few JCs from California. Leary's from San Mateo Junior College. The next batter is Yurton. He's from Sacramento City Junior College. And after that, Eric Johnson, also from Sacramento City. So you see the influence of junior college players. That's how you build a program in a hurry.
On-deck batter is Eric Johnson, the designated hitter. Number 5, number 23 is the number 8 man in the order, Rob Hartwig. On the ground, foul. And we talked about Leary tiring. His bat looks slow. When you watch him swing, he just looks like he's not getting that bat around quickly.
Well, they want him. It's always kind of a tough controversy. You want your best catcher to play every day. But Sammy, you know, as a former catcher, that it does take its toll. And what really hurts first is the bat, because that's when you begin to start sweeping your wrist. How many balls do you block with your hands and your arms?
And the legs wear down so much. This is a guy, as we mentioned, has caught every inning of every game. They play a lot of doubleheaders in college baseball. That fastball stays low. Count is 2-2.
And they tell me it gets a bit warm down in Louisiana.
Yes. Warm and muggy. That's Jim McEnany, the catcher for Loyola Marymount. You see him looking into the dugout to Dave Snow, the head coach, for the sign. Breaking ball is low, and the count is full on Rob Leary.
But Loyola is certainly into his pitching strategy now. He keeps that ball downstairs. He throws that little knuckle curve ball that breaks down. That's his out pitch. Good shot there, working his tobacco. You don't see that too often anymore.
Inside, he lost him. There's ahead of Leary, 1-2, second walk allowed by Tim Loyola, and LSU has the leadoff man on here in the fifth.
Good pitch, kind of a tough pitch to take. You'll see it breaks just in at the knees, a little bit low. But Leary, having a good eye, being a catcher himself, he knows, by now, of course, he knows the umpire, Dick Zivick, and what kind of pitches he's giving the pitchers. So he knew that ball's down. He can take it confidently and get the walk.
Loyola Marymount defense looking for two in the infield, straight away in the outfield. Loyola with a throw over. Larry, no threat to run at this point in the ball game. May not be a threat to run at any point in the ball game, but certainly not at this point. Down 3 runs in the 5th inning. Fastball. Johnson didn't look like he was ready to hit at that point.
Now, he was fooled. I wouldn't say he was quick pitched, but certainly he was not sitting there. That's why he's taking his time out, getting his thoughts together. You know, if you miss a pitch or you're fooled by a pitch, hey, just sit out, think about it for a while, get your head cleared up, get back in. There's no rush in this game. There's no game clock.
Breaking ball hit deep to center field. Back goes Bean, and he's got it. Good jump by the center fielder, Billy Bean. Leary goes back to first. And there again, the deep ballpark. That ball hit close to 400 feet. As Bean made the catch a couple of steps in front of the warning track.
He made a tough play look easy. Now, fortunately for Loyola Marymount, Bean plays a deep center field. This ball is hit pretty well. The wind takes it a bit. Now, he turns to the wrong way, but he just finds himself and backtracks, and he's all there. But as I said, he went back in it very nicely, didn't panic, didn't rush, put it away.
One man out. Rob Hartwig, the left fielder, steps in for LSU. Good breaking ball. He chased it.
He's never going to hit that pitch. He's too far from home plate. They try to get him to hit ground balls, either up the middle or the shorter second. He's a good speed, but you put that ball away from the plate, he's so far off the plate in his batting stance. Look how far he is. He must be a good 2-3 feet away.
Fastball.
Very, very fast.
Loyola really working him well. That breaking ball down, rode the fastball in.
Oh, he's in command out there right now. He knows what he's doing. He's had a chance now to have gone through the lineup. This is the second time. He can now go to work mentally in each batter, really dissect him up there. And he sees Hartwig. Immediately, he realizes Hartwig, he can just put him a ball outside away, and he's always got to do it, put him out.
2-strike pitch, just inside, 1-2. One man out, top half of the 5th inning. Take a look at Rob Hartwig and his stance. This is the junior left fielder. You see him way off the plate.
Look, your bat comes right across the plate. There's no way he can get to the outside corner.
And that front foot is a little opened up too.
Well, I tell you, and he runs so well.
Way inside with that pitch.
He runs so well. Now they tell me he's trying to learn how to be a switch hitter, to take advantage of his speed. But gee, just think, get a little closer to the plate, give yourself a chance. It's tough enough.
Should mention that he is working on hitting from the left-hand side, but only in practice. Hasn't done it in the game yet.
Right.
They expect him to switch and bat left-handed, be a switch hitter next year in his senior year.
And I say he was fast. In high school, he was the MVP of his track team.
That's fast. 2-2 to Hartwig. Fastball foul back. I'm surprised that Loyola hasn't come back with that slider on the outside. when he was up 1-2 and on that 2-2 pitch as well. He's gone with the fastballs.
He's had success with that knuckle curve that comes in very fat and then breaks straight down.
We're in the top half of the 5th inning. Loyola Marymount leading LSU 3-0. Game 1 of the NCAA College World Series.
You have 2 strikes. Swing at everything.
On the ground, slowly to short. Fraticelli waits, makes the tag on the bag himself, and is 2 men down. Fraticelli didn't rush that play. Sometimes you have a tendency to look for that double play and forget to get that sure out at second. Fraticelli waited, made the play himself.
You always make sure the first one, the second one's always just gravy. There's no way in the slow bouncer they're going to get 2 on Hartwig. He runs so well. So just make sure the first one, and Fraticelli looks and says, forget it. There's no way.
2 men down. Skip Bertman, the head coach at LSU. He was an assistant coach to Ron Fraser at Miami when the Hurricanes won the championship in 1982. He was the pitching coach.
And when he played ball at Miami, he was an outfielder and a catcher. He was not a pitcher.
He's done a good job learning the pitching game. Burke Broussard, the second baseman. 2 men down, a runner at first. Runner fakes going on the ground, slowly to short. Fraticelli in the dirt, scooped up by Steve Polk, and the sides retired. Good play by the first baseman, Polk. So the LSU Tigers get a runner on to lead off the inning, but leave them stranded. Go to the bottom of the 5th, 3-0 Loyola Marymount. I hear you. See the way Skip Bertman has turned the program around at LSU. They were around 500 2 years before, then 28-21, turns it around to go 9 over 500, then an outstanding year last year where they just missed making the College World Series. Mississippi State beating them out. And then Skip Bertman takes his team to the College World Series this year with a 54-12 record. Outstanding season in the Southeastern Conference. They hosted the regional. Dave Snow's done a fine job at Loyola Marymount. Turned the team around from a 23-38 record to a winning season last year, just barely. But this year, 49-13. Outstanding year in the West Coast Athletic Conference. They battled Pepperdine. Pepperdine went to the Central Regional, lost in the final to Arizona. Loyola Marymount going to the West Regional and surprising several good teams, especially UCLA, Hawaii out there. Good job by Loyola Marymount and their coach Dave Snow. We go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Bobby DeJarden, the second baseman, hit a pop fly to right field back in the 2nd inning with runners at 2nd and 3rd. Joey Bell had trouble with it in the sun. It hit off his glove for an error, and 2 runs scored. Big play of the ball game thus far.
And Sam, that's Mark Guthrie's 72nd pitch of the game. Now projecting that for its full 9 innings, that'll put him around the 140 to 160 mark. That's a little too much for a 9-inning ball game.
I don't think we'll see him that long. There was action, warm-up action earlier. Popped up into short right field. Bell having trouble with the sun again. Comes on and makes the catch. This time Bell did get a pretty good angle on it. Had the glove up shading his eyes and was able to make the catch.
Same kind of play as before. The funny thing about baseball is you never know when that play might repeat itself. And here once again, Bell got a poor jump, but he recovered nicely. This time he uses the glove. You can actually see through the cracks, the holes in the leather in your glove to line that ball. If everybody does that when they're a kid, you still got to do it even in the College World Series.
1 man out in the bottom of the 5th. Carl Fraticelli, the shortstop, fakes a bunt, takes a strike. To mention, there was warm-up action earlier for LSU, but that is quieted down. Last inning and this. Fraticelli, the sophomore from Hawaii. Breaking ball, slider on the outside corner. Good pitch by Guthrie. Guthrie had a real good 4th inning and has picked it right up here in the 5th. He's looking sharp now. He's allowed only 3 hits. Again, he drops down. Now, I don't know if that's just to show him a different look or get different kind of movement on the ball.
It appears to me, with a 2-strike count, that's, I want to call it a waste pitch, but obviously he's trying to get the batter to chase a ball away from the strikes with a different kind of wrinkle in his motion. But that's obviously not his usual mechanics of motion out there.
And bunting with 2 strikes, Fraticelli is out. Don't see that too often. Fraticelli looking to surprise with a 2-strike bunt. Fouls it off and he's out. Irv Brown.
Sam, look at the leather, both you and Rick, on Guthrie's glove. Look at the loose stuff hanging around. It really looks to me like it's distracting to the hitter. He's got that finger out. Yogi Berra started that when he had a bone bruise, but look at how distracting that can be.
The rules are very particular about the glove and, of course, the arm sleeves. And you see, as Irv pointed out, that the strings and leather just flying off. Again, a batter could claim that's very deceptive to pick that ball up. And as a coach, you go out and protest that. And I think, judging from some of the strings hanging off of Guthrie's glove, I think you have a pretty good case.
There you see it. As Guthrie with 2 men out, 1 strike on Jim Holleran, the left fielder. Good fastball. Holleran had a base hit his last time up.
And I come back to Rob Leary, the catcher. Now, he has that towel on the back of his catching gear. Allegedly, there's a good shot of it, allegedly to keep the sweat off his hands.
Dipping down line, good play. Backhand stab by Burke Broussard, the second baseman. And the side's retired. 1-2-3 for Loyola Marymount. End of 5. Game 1 of the NCAA College World Series. The Lions of Loyola Marymount leading the Fighting Tigers of LSU 3-0. Guthrie's retired. Loyola Marymount scored all their runs in the 2nd inning when they got a single by Chris Donalds. The catcher McInerney was hit by a pitch. 1 run scored on a double to right field off the fence by Todd Elliott. And with 2 outs, runners at 2nd and 3rd, a pop fly was dropped in right field by Joey Bell for an error that sent in 2 runs. Jack Voigt is coming up to pinch hit as we go to the top half of the 6th inning. Pinch hitting for Mike Papajohn. And that's a bit of a surprise.
Yes, it is. Voigt is an excellent defensive outfielder, but quite frankly, he doesn't run like Papajohn does, and he doesn't feel like Papajohn does.
Skip Bertman trying to get something going here as we go to the 6th inning. LSU has had only 2 hits. They have not had a hit since the 2nd inning.
And Liana is in his groove.
Good pitch. Fastball at the knees on the outside corner. Voigt coming into the game having played in 50 games. Rally caps on, the inside out rally caps for LSU. Missed down low and away. The count is 2-1. Voigt coming into the game batting at .300 with 8 doubles, 8 home runs, and 31 RBIs. So he's got some power.
He certainly appears to the same high school in Venice, Florida as Mark Guthrie and another LSU teammate, Craig Faulkner.
He's a sophomore. That's a good fastball on the outside. Good location for Tim Liana.
It seems very effortless for him, just putting that ball right where he wants it. Just pitch and catch out there right on the outside corner.
Foul tipped at the plate. Tim Liana pitched the 2nd game of the regional after Loyola Marymount had lost the 1st game. Started against UCLA, pitched into the 6th inning and allowed 7 runs, but then bounced back to get the win in the 5th game, or actually the final game. Came in relief in the 6th inning, pitched well against Hawaii, allowed only 1 run. Fastball on the ground, slowly to third. Nice play in time. Chris Donalds makes the play. Throwing on the run, one man down. Irv Brown, what's it look like down at field level?
Well, I want to get a comment from Rick. I'm taking a look at the catcher, McInerney, and he's got that protective thing that I think everybody should wear. Steve Yeager almost lost his life, and then he started wearing it. Rick, I don't know what your thoughts are. The home plate umpire, Dick Zivick, doesn't have it on. I really believe this should be in the book. You can't play without it.
Well, as a matter of fact, if you're talking about, of course, that throw protector, it is in the book. That's a new rule. That protector is now mandatory, has been all year in the college ranks. And as you say, it is the perfect safety device. That one is actually bigger.
That is a big one.
Than most kids use, but it gets the job done.
One man out in the top of the sixth. Jeff Rebele, the shortstop, takes a strike. Senior co-captain. Rebele came into the game hitting .296. Missed outside. Count is 1-1. LSU has not had a hit since the second inning.
Sam, what I like about Liana is that he's so comfortable out there. Takes the sign, has both feet firmly planted on the rubber, no sweat, very smooth. You know, he comes to that three-quarter arm delivery, plenty of control.
Foul on the bunt. Good fastball riding inside on Rebele.
He shows the fastball just to keep the batters honest, but basically he wants to throw that pitch outside, have the ball sink down. He's now thrown, by my count, 10 ground ball outs. And of course he has that knuckle curve. That ball comes up very fat and drops down. But remember now, an out pitch doesn't necessarily mean a strikeout. We're talking about an out pitch meaning a ground out or a pop-up. And outs and outs and out.
Yeah. Something that you really can't hit hard and get much on. 1-2 to Rebele. Breaking ball line up the middle of base hit. Third hit of the ball game for the Tigers of LSU, their first since the second inning. And that base hit in the second inning was actually a pop fly single to center.
Rebele did hit that ball this well. This is one of those base hits, which is a aluminum bat base hit. That ball actually was near his hands, but he was strong enough to get the bat out that he could push that ball up for a base hit. The ball didn't jump off his bat. It just sort of looped out there.
Breaking ball hanging up there, and Rebele hitting it right back up the middle. So one out single for the Tigers of LSU. And Joey Bell, the power man with 19 home runs, steps in and swings and misses at a breaking ball. Bell doubled in the first inning off the wall in right field.
As you can see, he gets his nickel's worth at every time at bat.
Infield looking for two for Loyola Marymount. Good pitch. Well, timing went inside with that pitch. Bell is a free swinger and tends to strike out a lot.
He does, and you can see why. He's pretty far off the plate. He'll never hit that curveball if it keeps breaking down like that. Now we'll see if Liana picks up on it, throws the ball away, or comes back with that deuce again.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Inside.
The Cardinal sin, excuse me, is that you get a guy look that bad on two curveballs in a row. The last thing you want to do is throw a pitch that he can hit, because he's already shown you can't hit the curveball.
Rebele with a lead at first. One man out in the top half of the sixth inning. LSU trailing 3-0. Move to first.
And keep in mind, by the way, all three hits by LSU have come on 2 strikes. Now the battle, of course, between the pitcher and the batter is one of whether Joey Bell is going to adjust on that curveball and whether Liana is going to come back with that deuce away.
Hit hard, base hit. Another 2-strike base hit. So the first time the Tigers of LSU have put 2 hits together. 2 men on, 1 man out.
Now, this ball, Bell jumps all over. Hanging curveball right at the middle of the plate. Now, Liana, the last 2 batters, he just couldn't put him away. He had him fooled. And of course, that's very frustrating for both the pitcher and the coach, because after all, you get the 2 strikes from the guy, and certainly you want to know what's going on.
I thought that ball broke down pretty well. He just didn't have it away. He didn't have it outside enough, and Joey Bell stayed with it very well. Dave Snow has gone out to the mound. to talk to his big right-hander, Tim Liana. 2 men on, 1 man out, as LSU tries to drive back into this ball game here in the top of the 6th.
Well, nobody knows more about pitching in college than Dave Snow, and right now I guarantee you he's talking to his ace about the fact, hey, wait a minute. You got 2 strikes in Reveille, you threw a fastball, he gets a base hit. You make Bell look terrible on 2 curveballs, and then you throw a deuce where at least he can see it, and he hits a rocket to left field. So he's right now giving him a breather, saying, look, you're doing fine. You got the shutout going, but let's not get sloppy here. Let's not lose our concentration.
Dave Snow did a great job with the pitching staff of Cal State Fullerton in 1984, and it was that pitching staff that really did the job and won it for the Titans. Little Eddie Delzer came up with a tremendous effort in the final game to lead the Titans to the victory. They had Scott Wright coming out of the bullpen. Here Liana with 2 men on, 1 man out here in the top of the 6th, facing big Jim Bowie, the first baseman. Hit the ball hard his first time up, lined out to second base. He's 0 for 2. Took a little off that pitch, and Bowie missed it.
That's the curveball that, of course, Bell looked so bad on. Just to wrap up about that Cal State Fullerton team, the 8 pitchers in that ball club all went on eventually to sign professional contracts.
Right fielder Bruschi is deep in right. Bean in center is shaded toward right. In the dirt. Good play by McEnany.
Both these catchers are particularly skilled at blocking that breaking ball in the dirt.
Jim Bowie facing Tim Liana.
Good shot of the ball. Sometimes they come with the two-seam fastball, the 4-seam.
That one's at the knees for a strike. 1 and 2. So Liana gets ahead of Bowie. He was ahead of Joey Bell. 0 and 2. Then on the 1-2 pitch, Bell got the base hit. Runners at first and second with 1 man out for LSU.
That pitch surprised Bowie because he likes that ball down and in, as most left-handed power hitters do. But again, the question is, can Liana put him away here with 2-strike count? Do you look for the fastball? Do you look for the big curve? Do you look for that knuckle curve? It's not a guessing game, Sam. But it is a game of percentages. It's a game of chess with muscles. And certainly the battle, it's a microcosmic battle between the pitcher and the batter, as well as the battle between the 2 teams.
Fastball got the inside corner. Now Bowie stands very close to the plate. You saw him jump back, but that ball with a little tail on it caught the inside corner. 3rd strikeout for Tim Liana. Let's take a look at this pitch.
Tough pitch. Bowie is a consistently good hitter on the fastball. You see him back up there. That ball was awfully questionable to being a strike. Got some help that time from the home plate umpire, Dick Zivick. And of course, Bowie can't believe it. He doesn't strike out much.
Here's another big man for LSU, Jeff Yurton. He flied deep to center his last time up. Bean ran it down at the warning track. 2 men on, 2 men out. First pressure moment in the ball game for Loyola Marymount, and right-hander Tim Liana, the senior, 17 and 2 this year. 2nd in wins in the country.
He's durable. He racks up a lot of innings pitched.
Hit hard, deep to right field. Back goes Bruschi to the fence. He's got it. A one-handed catch against the fence by Jim Bruschi, and the side's retired. So LSU threatens. They get 2 men on, but they do not score. Loyola Marymount still leads it 3-0. Sam Rosen, Rick Wolf, Irv Brown at Rosenblatt Stadium in Omaha, Nebraska. Glad you're joining us for the 1986 NCAA College World Series. This is the opening game, and a good one. Loyola Marymount leading LSU 3-0. Game 2 later tonight. The Black Bears of Maine and the Arizona Wildcats go at it. John Sanders, Joe Morgan, and Irv Brown will bring you the action in that one. Tomorrow, beginning at 5 o'clock, we've got a doubleheader for you with Miami taking on Oklahoma State in the 3rd game. And Game 4, it'll be Indiana State and #1 in the nation, Florida State. Yurton really hit that ball well.
He sure did. Now, you don't see here on the replay, but Bruschi turned the wrong way on that jump. But he makes a very tough play look almost routine out there. And so far, that's really the play of the game. A big play by the right fielder, Jeff Bruschi.
Center fielder Billy Bean leads off the bottom half of the 6th inning and takes a pitch low. Loyola Marymount with only 3 hits in the ball game. Their last hit came in the 3rd inning. Bean is 0 for 2. Hits it in the air to short left field. Rebele is back in calling. 1 man out. Rebele is a fine defensive player, the senior co-captain, and really the leader on the field for LSU. Almost an assistant coach, if you will, on the field, giving signals.
He sure is. In fact, Sam Rosen, he's actually, they call him almost like you say an assistant coach. His nickname, of course, is Savvy out there. He's in the game all the time. He's actually pulled 3 hidden ball tricks this year, but he only pulls it when it's absolutely vital in the crucial situation. He's always flashing signs to the second baseman, the outfield, let him know what pitch is coming. He's in the game all the time. He may not get 1 ground ball the entire game, but he's so into it, he'll be exhausted by the end of the 9 innings.
Donalds, Chris Donalds, the 3rd baseman, fouling it back into the stands. Count is 1-1. Donalds had a base hit and scored a run in the 2nd inning. Jeff Yurton, the 3rd baseman, gave it a run down the line.
Let me just explain that for a second. You can go through a game as an infielder or outfielder and never get 1 play. But if you're moving on every pitch, reacting to where the ball is thrown, where the play is made, you come out of 9 innings, you're exhausted.
But it takes a lot of mental discipline to do that. You know, a lot of fielders go to sleep out there sometimes if they're not in the ball game, not getting balls hit at them.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, as an infielder, you have to fight that, because if you ever lose your concentration, it's uncanny. But as soon as you begin to figure out about your batting average or what's for dinner tonight, all of a sudden, bang, that's when the ball hits you in a line drive. Never ceases to amaze me.
Outfield playing Donald straight away, and he check swings and fouls it back out of the ballpark. Count is 2-2.
Of course, the other thing about baseball, it is a team sport. The ball always seems to go, it's drawn like a magnet to your weakest fielder. I know as a coach, you might want to hide a guy, say in left field or maybe at 3rd base. Invariably, when the chips are down, the play has to be made. The ball seems to be drawn automatically to your weakest fielder. You can't hide anybody out there.
Fastball is up high and the count is full.
I've had teams in which I've had 9 DHs. Unfortunately, I had to play.
You had to find positions for them, right? Mark Guthrie, he's retired the last 10 batters in a row. Really settled down after he had a tough time in the 3rd, a little threat in the, rather in the 2nd, a little threat in the 3rd. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Loyola Marymount leading 3-0. You see the stands filling up as we get later on in the day. People getting off work, coming out to the ballpark. Start of the 1986 NCAA College World Series. Fastball foul back over our heads out of the ballpark.
Sam, you mentioned he's retired 10 in a row. What's unique about that is that he's done it relying primarily on his fastball. His curve, he keeps breaking down on the dirt. Occasionally gets a good one off, but it's the fastball that seems to be handcuffing Loyola at this point.
Full count. Low, ball 4. Good eye by Donalds as he works the walk. Chris Donalds, the leading home run RBI man for Loyola Marymount, is at first with 1 man out. And here's Jim Bruschi, the right fielder, stepping in.
That's the first walk given up by Guthrie. So although he's been struggling a bit, he has his control.
Bruschi struck out twice in the ball game. Came into the ball game hitting .328 with 11 home runs.
And now we go back to the cat and mouse game between the pitcher Mark Guthrie and Chris Donalds at first base. There's one move.
Donalds leads Loyola Marymount with 13 stolen bases. Fakes going.
Get a good shot back there of the first base umpire, Hank Roundtree, and he is in a line between Donalds and the pitcher Guthrie, checking out that potential balk move.
Saw Donald circling with his hands. He wanted the signs flashed again from the third base coach. Bruschi fouls that one off the right side out of the ballpark. One man out, one man on. Bottom half of the sixth. Loyola Marymount leading 3-0.
Bruschi is, although they may hit and run, he's not the good hit and run man because, as you mentioned, Sam, he is a free swinger. And with a free swinger, normally you want somebody who makes contact with the ball to protect the runner, particularly with a good move like Guthrie's.
Guthrie goes to first.
They're having difficulty reading Guthrie, and it's understandable. Again, I've always found as a coach, it seems with left-handers, when they face you at first base, they go home.
Runner goes, got a good jump, and he's in there. Donald's got an excellent jump, and exactly what you said. The pitcher faced Donalds and went to the plate. Donalds got a great jump and stole the base.
That's just what he did. Eventually, if you really study the pitcher, you'll see that what kind of move he has. Now, if you look at his face, that may tip him off. Now, an excellent piece of running that time by Donalds. You saw him glance back at the plate to make sure the ball wasn't in play. And Leary, who was a particularly strong arm, had no chance. Of course, you're always still in the pitcher and not in the catcher.
Count is 2 strikes on Jim Bruschi with a runner in scoring position. Outfield is straight away, fairly deep on Bruschi. Field is straight away, fairly deep on Bruschi. Base hit should score the run, though the infielders are trying to keep Donalds close at second. Breaking ball fouled off the right side.
Now this is curious. Donalds, who had a pretty decent lead at first base, when he's at second, he takes no lead at all. Now you could say he's trying to get a walking lead.
I think he may be aware of Rebele. He may know something about Rebele, who's trying to creep in behind him. He's looking over his shoulder to see where Rebele is. Very short lead by Donalds at second. 0-2 outside. Again on that 0-2 pitch. Guthrie going with that waist pitch, dropping down to almost below 3/4, really.
We've seen it now, and so has the Loyola Marymount. So no, it's no more deception. So it's just really a waist pitch in every sense of the word.
1-2 on Jim Bruschi. Curveball foul off the right side. And with the count, with Guthrie way ahead on the count, the outfield defense has moved over. By the way, Hartwig is now playing in center field. He moved over from left field, and Voigt, who pinch hit for Papa John, is playing left field for LSU. Hartwig shading over to right center now on Bruschi. 1-2. Got him. Third time Bruschi has gone down on strikes. Good fastball from the left-hander. Let's go to Irv Brown.
Story down here, fellas, in the third base dugout. This guy, Leone, has got a bad shoulder. It's really bothering him. He's going to try and go, but he'll really have to push off hard, as I see it, if he's going to be able to finish. Really has some pain in that thing from that injury.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, he hurt that shoulder shagging flies, fell on it a couple of weeks ago. He's pitched well in this ball game. The catcher, Jim McEnany, is in. Good breaking ball from Guthrie. 2 men out, runner at second for Loyola Marymount. Lions leading 3-0.
And yet, Sam, even though we know he's hurting, there's no action in the Lions bullpen.
I think Dave Snow wants to get to the 8th inning and then bring in Eric Reinholz, the left-hander, who is his ace short man.
Yeah, but at what price? He's your best pitcher. He's pitched 100 and close to 70 innings now of a team that's thrown 500 innings. He's your best pitcher by far. At what price do you risk him and that shoulder?
Fastball for strike 2.
You saw him on the bench. He was physically holding his shoulder. He's obviously in pain.
Dave Snow is not the type of guy that's going to take chances. He's going to ask his pitcher, and
I know that.
He'll jerk him out of there if he doesn't think he can do it.
I know that, but you look at your pitcher, and he's holding his shoulder. He says, I'm okay, coach, but well, how come you're holding your shoulder? Make sure it's still there.
2-strike pitch. Curveball on the ground to first. Bowie with a big hop. Takes it himself on the sides, retires. So Loyola Marymount gets a runner to second base, but they leave him stranded. End of 6, game 1. Loyola Marymount 3 and LSU nothing.
You want to see Tim Leanna go to school on Jim Bowie. Now, normally you don't throw a power hitter, a left-handed power hitter, down and in. But watch these pitches. As you'll see, he just breaks it in right down on the ankles of Bowie. Really, he wants that pitch. He wants that fastball down and in. But every pitch, a breaking ball. There's 2. That's 1-1 in the count. Now you see this one be right on the black. Get some help from home plate umpire Dick Zivick. He's thinking about it. That's 1-2 now. And one more time, the fastball. Bowie backs out, saying, "Wait a minute, I'm supposed to hit that pitch," and that's strike 3. That's a nice piece of pitching.
And a great tail on that fastball as it backed over the plate, and Bowie, who stands right on top of the plate, actually leaning over, took it for strike 3. We go to the top half of the 7th inning. Rob Leary will lead it off. You see the cameras, tremendous coverage of the NCAA College World Series for the 37th year in a row, played here in Omaha, Nebraska. Leary's been on base twice.
Now the question is, of course, is the condition of the shoulder of Tim Leanna. No problem that time. Now, his shoulder, because of his compact pitching motion, really shouldn't be that troublesome for him. He does not get the big push off the rubber, the up and down motion that Mark Guthrie has. It's a very nice, smooth, easy delivery. He's one of these kind of guys, Sam, where you fall into a nice rhythm as a batter, and before you know it, it's 0-2.
Very important inning here, because last inning seemed like LSU started to get the bats moving. You see Leanna flexing that arm, rotating that shoulder, trying to keep it loose. Took a little off. That's a nice pitch. Little straight change.
Very, very smart pitcher, making every pitch count. There's no wasted motion.
And you see the numbers for the senior right-hander Tim Leanna. Rob Leary behind on the count, 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. LSU had 2 men on last inning, and Jeff Yurton ended the inning by flying to deep right field. Bruschi making a one-hand catch against the wall. Leadoff batter in the top half of the 7th inning. Loyola Marymount leading 3-0. Missed outside.
Dave Snow, of course, the head coach of the Lions, really emphasizes the art. There's a picture of Dave. The art of pitching. It's not how hard you throw, it's movement. Remember, I read a quote by George Brett. The 3 most important things about pitching are like real estate: location, location, location.
3-2 on the hands, foul tip by Leary, and that caught the umpire Dick Zivick on the leg. He shakes it off. Way to hang in there, Dick.
And all during the game, of course, those catchers, both McInerney for Loyola Marymount and, of course, Leary for LSU, they're working on umpire. They're getting a pretty good idea of what corner he's going to give them, with inside pitch, how low the strike zone must be, and as long as he's consistent, the pitchers will really pitch to the umpire as opposed just to the batter alone.
Full count on Rob Leary, the catcher, a senior from San Carlos, California. Inside, and for the 3rd time in the game, Rob Leary has reached base.
He's doing his job. They have to get something going here, and you want that leadoff man to walk. That's just what he did. Now the question, of course, if you're a Loyola Marymount fan, is, well, how long do they go now with Leanna?
Eric Johnson, the designated hitter, steps in. Nothing for 2 thus far in the ball game. Third walk given up by Leanna. Outfield playing Johnson toward the gaps in right and left to give him the foul lines. Watching the Loyola Marymount dugout to see if they get some bullpen action going. There's some movement going on in the dugout. We'll see if anybody goes down to the bullpen.
Well, that's the third time of the game he's walked the leadoff man in an inning.
Fastball on the ground, slowly to short. Fraticelli to Desjardins for the force. They get the lead man. There's one man out.
All you got to get is one. And what indicates to me with the leadoff man walking, Sam, is that perhaps that as he sits on the bench during the innings, that shoulder is stiffening up. And it takes a couple of batters in the inning to get himself loose again. So far he survived by getting that ground ball by Johnson. But again, LSU, all these guys put the ball on the play, in a hurry.
Jeff Getch, a right-hander, is running down to the bullpen. He's a junior to start warming up. On the bunt by Hartwig, nicely played, throws high. Donalds got to it quickly, but threw it high, pulling Steve Polk off the bag, and Hartwig is safe. We'll see how they score it.
We said that Hartwig could fly. You get a good example there. If he puts that ball somewhere in play on the ground, it's always going to be a tough play to make defensively. Gets his arms extended, nice bunt. Donalds is a converted third baseman. He is young in the position. He's getting better. Made a nice play coming in on the ball, but you just saw the throw was up the baseline.
Good speed by Hartwig. And for the second straight inning, LSU with two men on, and now Liana is taking some extra tosses at the mound, again testing that shoulder, but also delaying a little bit to get Getch a little time in the bullpen to get ready. Irv Brown, what does it look like from your vantage point?
Well, they're really concerned down here, Sam. Just talked to Dave Snow, and he knows his pitcher's hurting. They were hoping for the double play ball. Ball wasn't hit hard enough, and they've got some activity in the bullpen. I'm not sure he can finish. This guy is gutty, but he does have a sore shoulder.
And it's particularly important now because Craig Faulkner is going to pinch hit for Bert Broussard. And we saw just a couple weeks ago, Sam Rosen, what Craig Faulkner did in the key game against Florida State.
He lost one deep into the night.
Deep into the next county.
In Tallahassee, Dave Snow, the head coach, is concerned.
As well he should be. If he wants to get more time for his pitcher to warm up on the bullpen, it's an old trick, but I used it all the time when I was in college. Having one of my ball players complain of something in his eye.
Faulkner is 6'5", 230. Hit 5 home runs this season with 20 RBIs in 47 games. Batted .243. Outfield is deep and straight away on Faulkner.
Here's Dave. He's calling the signs for the pitcher. He relays them, of course, to the catcher, McInerney.
The bunt was ruled a base hit for Hartwig. 5 hits now for LSU. 2 on and 1 out. Breaking ball on the ground, wide of third into the hole, a base hit. Johnson is being waved around third. He'll score, and LSU has scored its first run of the game. It's now 3-1. So a pinch hit single for Craig Faulkner.
Faulkner just found a hole somewhere in the infield. Big leg boost there, but he powers that ball. No chance for Donalds, right in the gap. And very alertly, Halloran comes in. Rather than risking the throw home, fires right back to the cutoff man.
Andy Galley, number 4, a sophomore from New Orleans, will run for Faulkner. Galley is a second baseman. He'll go in to play second base. Dave Snow's going out to the mound to talk to his right-hander. 2 men warming up in the bullpen. Getch, a right-hander. Reinholtz, the left-hander.
The question, of course, the key question in any tight ball game is at what point do you yank your pitcher? And this is where managers really earn their keep, because Liana obviously is tiring. His arm, his shoulder hurts. Dave Snow knows he's his best. He's the best he's got. I mentioned at the top of the show, every team here has one outstanding pitcher. But once you get past that first guy, that's when the pressure really builds on the number 2, 3, 4, and 5 guys. So the question now is, as a manager, Is Dave Snow correct? Does he stay with Liana? Or does he see this lead vanish into thin air?
2 men on, 1 man out. Jack Voigt steps in. Good speed on the bases. Hartwig at second. Galley at first. Jack Voigt pinch hit for Mike Papajohn. Hit in the air to right field. Bruschi is right there, makes the catch. The runners tag but do not go. Bruschi with a good arm got the ball in to the infield in a hurry. So a big out for Tim Liana as Voigt went after the first pitch and hit it right to the right fielder Bruschi.
These Tigers won't be cheated. They're very aggressive at the bat. And you saw Voigt swinging the first pitch. So now their key man is Jeff Reveille. He's a big clutch hitter, has been all year for LSU.
Reveille got a base hit his last time up. 6 hits in the game for LSU, 3 for Loyola Marymount. Loyola Marymount leading 3-1. We're in the top half of the 7th inning.
You can just feel the screw beginning to tighten here.
Runner goes from second, and everybody's safe. It's a double steal. Hartwig, who leads the team in stolen bases, got a great jump from second base. And Gailey just trailed on in to second, coming from first with an easy steal for him. But Hartwig got a great jump.
He sure did. And that time they just caught Loyola Marymount totally asleep out there. Really caught him flat-footed. Hartwig didn't have much of a lead, but he got a great jump, which is all you need from second to third.
Pitch was a strike. Runners tying runs now in scoring position. Breaking ball on the ground to third. Donalds has got it. Across the poke in time. And Liana gets out of it. LSU gets a run on 3 hits. But Liana shuts the door. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Loyola Marymount still leading 3-1. Three times in a run. Sam Rosen, Rick Wolf, Irv Brown at Rosenblatt Stadium in Omaha, Nebraska. This is game 1 of the 1986 NCAA College World Series, and a good one. The Lions of Loyola Marymount, who scored 3 runs in the 2nd inning, still leading. LSU ranked 2nd in the nation coming into the College World Series, 3-1. LSU is threatened. The last 2 innings, they broke through in the 7th with a run, but left the tying runs at 2nd and 3rd.
And now it appears, of course, the momentum has swung around. Early on, it was Guthrie who was on the ropes, and Liana was in control. And now Guthrie he's in his groove. He's all set. And now you see the pressure being turned on Loyola Marymount.
Todd Elliott, the designated hitter, leads off. Takes a breaking ball. Ball 1. Elliott had a double back in the 2nd inning. Off the right field fence that Joey Bell had trouble with in the sun. It drove in a run. Hit in the air, deep left field. Going over is Voigt, near the line, and makes the catch in fair territory. 1 man out. There's Jack Voigt. Bullpen action for the LSU Tigers. That's Barry Manuel, their ace reliever, warming up. That is Andy Gailey, who ran for Craig Faulkner, staying in the game at 2nd base. He's a sophomore from New Orleans.
Went to the same high school as Rusty Staub, Jesuit High. Sam, did you know that? You're not going to believe this. Rusty Staub was recruited as a basketball player by Fordham.
No, I can't believe that. Fred Tuttle, a junior from Bakersfield, California, will pinch hit. Pinch hitting for the first baseman, Steve Polk. Polk was 0 for 2, popped out and grounded out. On the ground hard, 1 hopper to third. Jeff Yurton across to Jim Bowie, 2 men out. Boy, Mark Guthrie has really settled down. He looked like he was in deep trouble in the 2nd inning, struggled a little bit in the 3rd, and since then, he has not allowed a base hit.
As I said, the momentum has really shifted at this point. Guthrie if you talk to him, he'll tell you he doesn't got his best stuff. He's getting away with that fastball with occasional show of a curve. But all he wants to do right now is throw strikes, get these guys out as fast as they can, and get the Tigers back up the bat again.
That's right. Strike one, a good fastball. 2 men out. Bobby DeJarden, the second baseman, steps in. Got on an error. It was his fly ball that was misplayed in right field by Joey Bell that allowed 2 runs to score, and that's the difference in the ball game right now, with Loyola Marymount leading 3-1. The Lions have had only 3 hits off Mark Guthrie.
You saw that time DeJarden faked the bunt. The way Guthrie falls off to the third base side, off to the right on your screen, any kind of push bunt past the pitcher just easily go for a base hit. There's that sidearm sort of dropping down, sort of waist pitch.
Count is 1-2 with 2 men out in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Fastball rides high and away. Now 2 men warming up in the bullpen for LSU. Right-hander Stan Lower, who's been an outstanding starter. Number 21 has joined Barry Manuel. Manuel number 39. Hit hard deep to left field. Going back is Voigt, still going, and drops the ball. DeJarden makes it into second, standing up. Voigt got back there, got the glove on it, but could not hold it.
That was the case that time, in which Voigt, who was been put in the game, middle of the game, new to the ballpark, he just didn't know where the wall was. Now, by the time he was going back at a pretty good clip, you'll see it's on the warning track, he leaps to this ball. He still had another 10 strides to the fence. He almost had it, then he drops it. But again, he has to know where the wall is, and that time he just didn't know where he was.
Ruled a double for Bobby DeJarden. It's the first hit since the 3rd inning for Loyola Marymount. The Lions with a runner in scoring position, 2 men out. And Carl Fraticelli, the shortstop, steps in. Leadoff man in the order. He's 0 for 3, struck out his last time up. Fastball rides high. Now it looks like Guthrie's fastball is getting up a little bit. Could be a sign he's getting tired.
Well, certainly that's a good point, Sam Rosen. DeJarden jumped on a fastball and drilled it to the left field fence. The last fastball was high, as you said. You wonder just how long Skip Britman will go with him.
Fraticelli tried to bunt with 2 strikes his last time up, so.
Well, he's not going to be bunting now. He's going to try to knock that run in.
But Yurton, the third baseman, is in even with a bag and kind of creeps into the grass as the pitch is made.
Well, he really shouldn't do that, because now he's giving that Fraticelli more room for a base hit down the third baseline.
Breaking ball hangs up there. It's 2-1.
Fraticelli, of course, he could bunt, but as a coach, you want him to swing away. He's a good hitter, get a base hit, get another run in. And by Yurton cheating in, he's even with the bag at third. There's a big hole between the shortstop Rebele and Yurton. Any kind of ground ball in the hole there goes for a base hit.
Even the first baseman Bowie has crept in about halfway. Fastball hit in the air down the right field line, slicing foul. Back into the stands.
Well, now with 2 strikes, that'll back Yurton up a bit down at third base. And of course, Rebele trying to hold the runner on DeJarden at second base. Again, I'm surprised that Gailey, the second baseman, wouldn't be holding him on. Normally, the right-handed batter, you would see the second baseman cheating in, dashing back and forth at second base.
Though Fraticelli is not the type of guy that's going to pull the ball. You've got to shade him a little bit toward the right side.
True, but he's a ground ball hitter. If he pulls one on the left side, it's a base hit.
Fastball low and inside. Count is full now on Carl Fraticelli, sophomore. Fine shortstop.
Big pitch here. Guthrie has gone with that fastball for the last 5 innings. Let's see what he throws here. And he is really working out there. The last pitch before to Fraticelli, he sort of grimaced. There wasn't a strike. Now you see him take his foot off over. He's working. He wants his pitch to count. He's going to put a little extra on this one.
Missed with a fastball. He did put a little extra on it, but it stayed outside. So 2 men on for Dave Holleran, and Skip Bertman is heading out to the mound. with the hard-hitting Dave Holleran stepping in for Loyola Marymount. Skip Bertman might make a change here. He's got two right-handers up in the bullpen, the hard-throwing Barry Manuel and Stan Lower. And let's see. And he is bringing in the right-hander. It's going to be Manuel. Barry Manuel gets the call from the LSU bullpen. We're in the bottom half of the 7th inning, game 1 of the NCAA College World Series. Loyola Marymount still leading 3-1. The man they call the Terminator, sophomore Barry Manuel from Mamou, Louisiana. Record of 10-2, 2.31 earned run average. He has 90 strikeouts in 70 innings. This is his 40th appearance of the season, all in relief. He has 10 wins and 8 saves, and he brings the fastball to Holleran for a strike. Two men on and 2 men out here in the bottom half of the 7th inning.
He's the hardest thrower for LSU, and he comes in. There is no surprise. He's throwing the heat.
And he's got the outside corner.
He's been clocked at 92, 93 miles per hour.
Dave Holleran, the batter, rather Jim Holleran, is 1 for 3. Fastball got him on 3 pitches. Barry Manuel comes in and shuts the door on Loyola Marymount. They got 2 men on and left 2 at the end of 7th. It is Loyola Marymount leading LSU 3-1. They got a threat on this double off the glove of Jack Boyd, but did not score. Couple of moves for Loyola Marymount as we go to the 8th inning. Tuttle, the pinch hitter last inning, has come into the ball game. Fred Tuttle stays into the game in left field, and Jim Holleran moves in from left field to first base. Herb Brown, what's it look like as we go to the top half of the 8th inning?
Well, I think every coach has been in this situation. I know Rick has, I know I have. They've tried to pump up Leona during the inning. Dave Snow sat with him, talked to him. It's his ball game. It'll be adrenaline and guts, because I'll tell you what, he has very little left. We'll just have to see how it works.
Getch continues to warm in the bullpen for Loyola Marymount as Dave Snow gives the signs. Joey Bell, the right fielder, steps in for LSU. 3, 4, 5 in the order for the Tigers. That pitch bounced in front of home plate. Mark Guthrie for LSU went 6 2/3 innings, allowed 3 runs, 1 earned. He walked 2, struck out 5, and gave up 4 hits. A good effort for Mark Guthrie of LSU. Had the 1 rough inning, and had Bell not really misplayed 2 balls in right field. 1 double that I thought he could have gotten to had he gotten back sooner to the fence, and then the ball he dropped for an error. Guthrie might still be in the ball game, and LSU might be leading 1-0.
Now, Irv mentioned the fact that Leona hits his ball game, but the last 2 pitches, you started the inning off with a breaking pitch, wasn't even close to the plate. That last pitch was high, also not close to the strike zone, and now he's been throwing strikes all day. All of a sudden he's so off the plate, you got to wonder. You see he's taking his time now.
Left-hander Eric Reinholtz is up in the bullpen for Loyola Marymount with 2 good left-handers on deck. Left-hander Jim Bowie, followed by Jeff Yurton, who's hit the ball very well off Leona today.
Dave Snow, of course, is very much aware of that.
Count is 2-1 on Joey Bell. Leading off the 8th inning, and again, he took something off and threw it in the dirt. It's 3-1.
You don't have to be a college coach to see that time that he's now, it's all beginning to unravel out there. He's going really as far as he can go, and unless he can come up with something really extra here in his conditioning. Now he's looking over to the dugout to see what's going on with Dave Snow, but you can say he's losing his mechanics, his rhythm. You can see the shoulder, he's keeping it loose. You're really beginning to wonder now just how long Dave Snow will go with him.
3-1. Fastball, he checked his swing, and he takes it for ball 4. Joey Bell walks to lead off the 8th inning, and again LSU with a leadoff base runner.
That's the 4th time he has walked the leadoff batter, and it's probably due to the fact that during the course of sitting on the bench between innings, his shoulder stiffens up and loses his mechanics.
The left-hander is Eric Reinholz. The right-hander is Jeff Getch. They are warm. They've been warming the last 2 innings. Dave Snow is looking down, but not making a move out of the dugout. He is staying with Laiana as Jim Bowie steps in.
Well, he's aware of the fact that he's had Bowie's number, particularly in the last at bat in that called 3rd strike. We showed you that sequence before.
Don't forget, Bowie hit the ball hard the first time up in the 1st inning.
I was just going to say that, Sam Rosen, that, you know, it depends how long your memory is.
Bowie crowds the plate, soft toss to first. Nobody out, top half of the 8th inning. Loyola Marymount leading LSU 3-1. Joey Bell with good speed leads from first. Fastball hit hard, base hit right field. Bell will go to third. Bruschi comes up throwing, but it's cut off. LSU with runners at first and third, nobody out.
LSU talks about the fact that all their hitters, particularly Jim Bowie, is very good at adjusting, and the game of baseball is a game of adjustment. He came up, he knew exactly what he wanted to hit that time, and as soon as he saw it, he jumped all over it. Hit a dart through the right side of the infield for a base hit, and now you wonder, is Dave, is it coming out too soon or too late? We'll know when Jeff Yurton gets up.
Definitely not too soon. I don't know if it's too late, even though there are 2 men on.
We won't know until we see what he does here and what Yurton does.
I think it's got to be bullpen time. Laiana, I think, is
you have to go
gone
to
as far as he's can go. He's given him 7 innings. There are 2 men on.
That pen, though, of Loyola Marymount doesn't have the stopper ability that a Barry Manuel has for LSU. So you see Snow, I don't think he's going to make the move here.
Wow. Really a surprise.
This surprises me because Yurton, of course, is the go-ahead run at the plate. I mean, he's really playing this out all the way with Laiana. Now Bowie, he knows what he wants up there. He wants that ball inside, and he gets it. Just leans back and hacks away at it.
See now,
not
earlier,
a chance for Halloran.
Earlier, he threw the ball inside and tailed back over the inside corner. This time, it tailed back over the plate, and Bowie was able to get the bat around.
Bowie knew he'd look bad on the inside pitch, so he was looking for the inside pitch, and of course, the one before he tailed away. That one didn't, was flat base hit.
Runners at first and third, nobody out, and Jeff Yurton, the third baseman, who has really hit the ball hard today, fly deep to right to center field, and last time, with 2 men on, hit deep to right field, and Bruschi made a one-hand catch against the fence. Fastball in the outside corner. Infield is playing for 2. Donald's at third, Fraticelli the shortstop.
Yurton runs well, though. He'll be tough to double up. He always makes contact. He'll put the ball in play. Bowie is not much of a threat to steal, though he may go.
Outfield is deep and straight away. Just off the outside corner, 1-1.
And it's very apparent Laiana really struggling now, taking his time, picking up the dirt, moving around, rubbing up the ball. These are all the telltale signs for that he's just about cooked. Just trying to find one more pitch or so to end this threat.
1-1, fakes the pickoff move.
He would have had Bowie at first base. That play rarely works, but every so often you come up with a gem. Bowie was leaning the wrong way. If he had gone to first base, he would have had him.
Count is 1-1 on Jeff Yurton. Outfield deep and straight away on the big third baseman, who lines it. Great catch by DeJardin. The freshman second baseman, Bobby DeJardin, with a leaping backhand stab for the first out of the inning. Big defensive play.
A super play. We said that Yurton is a good line drive hitter. He hit a P, and a great play by DeJardin. Now, he was fortunate. You'll see him in the corner here on this replay. He was fortunate that he got to that ball. He was playing, of course, double play depth. A great leaping catch. If he'd actually been playing back, Sam, he may have been out of position for that ball.
1 man out. And here's Rob Leary. He's been on all 3 times. Walked twice and singled. Top half of the 8th inning. LSU down 2 runs.
They're really knocking at the door now. Last 2 balls put in play were just shots.
Joey Bell is the runner at third. Jim Bowie, the runner at first, with 1 man out. They've stopped throwing in the Loyola Marymount bullpen. They're just watching from down there.
It's his game to win or lose.
Senior right-hander Tim Layana.
Leary is a clutch hitter. Has been all year for the Tigers.
Inside with a breaking ball. They're just watching. Jeff Getch and Eric Reinholtz were up throwing. They're just standing back and watching. They're loose if they're needed. But Dave Snow has put it all on the shoulders of right-hander Tim Layana.
Shows you what kind of respect he has for this young man.
Again, the fake pickoff move. Bowie really has a very short lead at first base.
Well, that's, again, it's a sign by Layana. He's struggling out there. He goes that same move twice. He's just trying to come up with anything he can out of his bag of tricks to get out of this jam.
And again. This time he threw to first, but Bowie has a very short lead at first base.
Now, he's not going to run. Boy, Dave Snow, his heart's got to be in his throat right now.
Now Jeff Getch has started throwing again in the Loyola Marymount bullpen. Threw a couple of pitches and stopped. 1-0 to Leary. Now his straight change again. He's taking something off that pitch. But Layana looks like he is really struggling here. Pitching on guts alone right now, I think.
Now the question is, he falls behind on Leary, 2-0. If perhaps he puts him on base, do you yank him then?
Runners at first and third, 1 man out. Again, the fake pickoff move. That's 3.
I think it's 4, Sam, actually. And you wonder now what's going on. I mean, is he may be actually feeling that, uh-oh, I can't throw the pitch I want to pitch to this guy. He's trying to find an extra reserve. What's going on? Or what can I do to fool Leary on this pitch?
2-0 pitch. Fastball got the inside corner.
Layana, remember now, he's completed 12 games of his 17 starts.
Infield in double play depth for Loyola Marymount, Rob Leary.
Well, Leary's just looking for the pitch he wants. He knows that guy's tired out there. He wants the pitch he wants.
2-1. Up the middle and through for a base hit. Bell has scored. Bowie is on his way to third. He'll make it. And LSU has runners at first and third. And it's now a 3-2 ball game. So Rob Leary has reached base 4 times in the ball game. His second hit. Bell has brought in the run. And the tying run is at third with only 1 man out. Dave Snow is on the top step.
We said that Leary is a clutch hitter. So that ball right in the middle of the plate, right back through the middle. Almost a nice play by the draw, the second baseman. Again, the ball is hit very sharply. And Leary comes through for LSU.
And Dave Snow is coming out. He will make a move and go to the bullpen. He'll bring in right-hander Jeff Getch. Loyola Marymount clinging to a 3-2 lead here in the 8th.
Well, looks like Leary's.
Junior right-hander Jeff Getch has come on in relief here with 1 man out in the top half of the 8th inning. He picked up a save in the second regional tournament game against UCLA. Loyola Marymount. This game is being brought to you by Exxon. Quality you can count on. By Job Spikes. Job's does the job at the roots. And by those zigzag ridges of Ruffles brand potato chips. Ruffles have zigzag zing. Whoa, say that 3 times fast. Zigzag zing. That's what you used to do when you were a wide receiver.
That's exactly right.
We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Game 1 of the 1986 College NCAA College World Series. And Billy Bean, the center fielder, leads it off for Loyola Marymount. They've had only 1 hit since the 3rd inning. The book is closed on Tim Layana. He worked 7 1/3 innings, allowed 8 hits, 3 runs, 3 all runs earned. He walked 4 and struck out 3. 2 of those walks turned into runs through 113 pitches.
Those base on balls, there's no defense for him, and they always come back to haunt you.
The versatile Billy Bean.
But he was a
fielder, fine hitter.
When he was a freshman, along with Tim Layana, the Lions were 11 and 41.
They've come a long way.
I would say you could say that, yes.
Line down the right field line, a base hit. Bean should get 2 and maybe more. He's on his way to second. Bean looks and holds up with a double. The relay getting away from Gailey, but it's picked up. But Billy Bean leads off the bottom half of the 8th inning with a double off Barry Manuel. Excuse me, with no one out here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Back-to-back doubles for Loyola Marymount, starting the bottom half of the 8th, have given the Lions the lead again, 4-3. junior right-hander Stan Lower. Stan 6'4". He stands pretty high. He's 6'4", 205, has won 13 games. This is his 26th appearance, 10th in relief. Comes on to replace Barry Manuel with a runner at second, nobody out. And he'll face a pinch hitter, Dan Walgren. Walgren pinch hitting for the right fielder, Jim Bruschi. Bruschi was 0 for 3, struck out 3 times. So Dave Snow going to the bench, looking to get some more runs in this 8th inning with a runner at second and nobody out. Let's see what he'll do with Walgren.
Now the question is, with Walgren, who of course is a lefty swinger, will he put a bunt down, or will he just pull the ball to keep that runner moving along?
Only the 25th at bat this season for Walgren. Comes into the game 6 for 24 with 1 double. They're looking for the bunt. And fake on the pickoff move. Bowie has crept in 4 steps on the grass at first base, and the third baseman Yurton has got a hold for the play at third. There's Bowie. He's looking for the bunt.
And again, Donald's not much of a lead at second base.
Walgren squares, bunts it foul. Walgren's job is to bunt it hard enough to force the third baseman to come in and play that ball.
That's right, but that time what he did was, now again, it's tough coming off that bench. He hasn't seen any live pitching today. That time he got his elbows close to his body, and that's why the ball glanced off into foul territory. It's tough. It's tough on Lower to come in, but it's even tougher on the bunter.
Bottom half of the 8th inning. Loyola Marymount leading 4-3. They've regained the lead with 2 doubles to start the 8th. Pickoff play is on, and it gets off the glove of Andy Gailey. Irv Brown, how does it look from your vantage point?
Well, I think every coach detests this situation on defense. They had to converge on, and then they put the pick on. But Rick, the situation simply here is that you have no force at third. I've seen this play botched up more in college baseball than any other single play.
That's absolutely right, Irv Brown. I tell you, it's a tough play to defense. You really got all the things working against you.
It's on, and the bunt is foul.
So what you got to do is you got to have your shortstop dash all the way from his position to third base in case there is a play at third. Meanwhile, you got your third baseman charging in. It puts all your defensive players in motion, and that really spells trouble. Now with 0-2 count, again, all Walgren wants to do is pull that ball to the right side of the infield, or of course get a base hit if he gets lucky.
Oh, he's still in on the grass. Pitch is foul back. Count is 0-2 on Dan Walgren. Nobody out, the runner at second here in the bottom half of the 8th inning.
Lower, of course, this is the time for the strikeout. That's his job, to get the strikeout. Get that first out.
Walgren with a lot of wide open space down the right field line. If he can pull Lower, he pulls him on the ground outside of first.
His job is to move that runner along. He tried the bunt route. That was not successful. If he can just pull that ball to the right side, that is his job right now. It'll go as an 0 for 1 in the book, but it's really a sacrifice. And Lower knows that too. He knows what's going on. He's looking at that strikeout, preferably on the outside corner.
Fastball foul. Leary is setting up on the outside corner, moving out with that target to try and get that pitch away from Walgren. They don't want him to pull. Count remains 0-2.
And like Donald's, one of those guys who chokes that bat with 2 strikes, protecting that plate. This is quite a test for Walgren. Shadows off the bench. It's cold.
Hit in the air, foul.
Keeps battling away. Keeps hammering in there. And of course, Lower saying, "Doggone, what's going on here? Why doesn't this kid just sit down with a strikeout?"
Skip Bertman in a tough situation. He went out, pulled Barry Manuel. He's giving the signals to his catcher. Dave Snow went a long way with his starting right-hander. Has got the lead back. 2 strikes to Walgren. Breaking pitch stays outside.
Now Lower, he really wants to overpower Walgren here with the fastball. He knows if he throws him a changeup, he may hit a ground ball. He might pull it. If he throws a curve, he may swing and miss, but he may hit a ground ball. He really wants to overpower him and if he goes out opposite way with the fastball.
Went inside, called him out on strikes. At the knees, Walgren didn't like the call, but he's called out on strikes. And that's exactly what Lower wanted, the best thing he could hope for, and he got it.
Quite a battle for Walgren. He was looking outside. That's where Lowers are throwing him. He comes inside. Boy, that's a tough pitch. A little low, but Zivik has been calling that pitch all day, and he stays consistent.
Tough pitch and a good one for the pitcher. Lower really went with it. Here's the catcher, Jim McInerney. Was hit by a pitch and scored back in the second inning. Fastball at the knees. Lower getting ahead of the hitters. Loyola Marymount scored 3 in the second. 2 unearned runs in that 3-run rally. LSU battling back with a run in the 7th, 2 in the 8th. And now Loyola Marymount with a run here in the bottom of the 8th.
He's not out of the woods at all.
Donald's at second. Fastball's outside. Outfield straightaway, not too deep in left or center. Joey Bell, average depth in right on the catcher McInerney. The junior right-hander. Breaking ball on the ground to second. Andy Gailey makes the play to Jim Bowie. 2 men out. And over to third goes Chris Donalds. So Lower has come on to get 2 men out. Lower pitched very well in the regional for LSU. Pitched a complete game and beat Oklahoma 8-5. Todd Elliott steps in. Hit a fly ball, a deep fly ball. It hit the fence in right field. Joey Bell had trouble with the sun, didn't get back quickly enough. Got a double out of it and an RBI, and later scored on Bell's error. Curveball's foul.
2 good breaking balls in a row by Lower. Threw a very wicked curveball to McInerney, who hit the ball, of course, to the second baseman. But that, once again, starting off with a breaking ball, keeping the ball downstairs. You can't get hurt downstairs with the breaking ball.
The designated hitter, Todd Elliott, came into the game with 31 hits and 31 RBIs. Make it 32 and 32. Now,
that little thing on his sleeve is a toad, Sam. He's the toad man.
That's right, the toad man. Breaking ball in the air down the right field side and twisting back into the crowd.
Let's talk about the toad man. Here's a guy, Elliott, who started off the year really on the bench, but he keeps a notebook on every at-bat.
That's right, the toad book.
And it's called the toad book because he's so particular about what he puts in it. Every at-bat he records, which really goes to prove that you really can't, if you can't think and hit at the same time, maybe you can write and hit at the same time.
Well, he writes and thinks before he gets up to hit. He's got all that thinking done, then he gets up to hit, knows exactly what he's going to do.
The toad man.
0-2 on Todd Elliott. Fastball, good pitch as Lower flew it by him. So Stan Lower comes in and does the job, but Loyola Marymount scores a run on the back-to-back doubles by Bean and Donalds to regain the lead, 4-3.
Go to the top of the ninth inning.
Loyola Marymount leading LSU 4-3 as we go to the 9th inning. Game 1 of the 1986 NCAA College World Series. And at the conclusion of today's game, we will name our Frito-Lay players of the game. One from each side. LSU putting on the inside-out rally caps. They rallied in the 7th and the 8th to tie, but now are down a run. And the crowd looking on. Jeff Getch, the right-hander, pitching to Andy Gailey. Dan Walgren has stayed in the game to play right field. He pinch hit for Jim Bruschi. And the top half, or rather in the bottom half of the 8th inning.
Gailey, his mission right now is to get on base. Walk, bunt, base hit, error, anything. He has to get on base. And on the other side of the ledger, Getch knows he has to throw strikes.
Down low, count is 1-1. Here's Dan Walgren.
Notice he has his sunglasses with him.
Yeah. That pitch stays inside, 2-1.
Tim Loyola, you can see, has the ice pack on that shoulder.
Fastball high, 3-1. There is bullpen action for Loyola Marymount. Kalani Bush is warming up, a right-hander. There he is.
He's from the same high school in Hawaii as Fraticelli.
Up high, lost him. So walks, which hurt Loyola early in the game. 2 of 4 walks turned into runs for LSU. And now Jack Voigt steps in.
That's the last thing that Getch wanted to do, was walk Gailey.
Now let's see how Skip Bertman plays it with a tying run at first, nobody out. Voigt squares, takes up high, ball 1. Left-hander Eric Reinholtz has gotten up in the bullpen again for Loyola Marymount as McEnany and Donald's dual talking.
So that's not, we've worked hard to get this lead. Let's do our jobs now. Let's throw strikes. Put the ball in play. Let us handle the ball. LSU in a bunt situation.
Voigt didn't square that time, took a strike, 1-1.
Now that surprises me, Sam. You would think they'd certainly want to move that runner along.
Voigt takes a look down. Well, it's the visiting team. Maybe Skip Bertman hoping to catch the defense moving, perhaps. Looking to let Voigt swing away. Throw to first, and Gailey is back. Again, the throw over. Gailey has to dive back in.
He's got a reasonable lead out there. Has decent speed. Hasn't played much this year. He's used primarily as a defensive replacement.
Count is 1-1. Hit on the ground, foul. Voigt swinging away all the way.
Well, again, this is interesting. You know, sometimes you get kids in college ball, Sam, who just aren't good at bunting. And rather than risk the sacrifice bunt with a bad play.
And don't forget, it isn't easy to bunt with that aluminum bat either.
That's true. The art of bunting is becoming a lost art. But now, got 2 strikes on him. He's swinging that stick.
Fastball got him. Foul tipped and held by McEnany. And Voigt is struck out. 1 man down in the 9th inning.
Good pitch. Puts up ball right down at the knees where Voigt can't get it. Tries to pull it, of course, just can't reach it. He's so far from the plate, can't get to it. And a big strikeout for Loyola Marymount.
1 man out. The tying run at first base. Jeff Rabelais steps in. Rabelais is 1 for 4 in the ball game. Good fastball.
Now the question is, at what point do we start Gailey? Are we going to send him? The game of computerized chess here on the ball field keeps going on and on. In these 1-run ball games, everybody's thinking out there, do you send him? Do you hit and run? Do you let him swing away? Do you keep him tied at first base?
Gailey has 9 stolen bases in 11 attempts.
Has a decent lead. He's sizing up the pitcher for that jump.
Rabelais handles the bat well. They could hit and run with Rabelais. He's a good contact man. He takes strike 2. Good fastball in the outside corner.
Reveille goes well to right field. Tough, of course, to hit and run with an 0-2 count. But now the advantage, of course, goes to Getch. Question is, what do you do with an 0-2 count?
LSU has shown in this game they're good two-strike hitters.
That's correct.
Again, Gailey is back. Getch has got a pretty good move for a right-hander.
Yeah, he does. And he doesn't take much of a leg kick either. So Gailey, as Gailey tries to size him up, he wants to get that big jump. But with that short leg kick to home, can't get a real good one.
Gailey doesn't have a big lead. Fastball is down low. The appeal to first with Reveille had checked his swing.
And notice also on Getch, most pitchers, when they go into the stretch, Sam, they bring their hands all the way from the top. Getch just brings his hands right to the belt and goes to the plate. You can't get a real good jump on that kind of move.
Tough to time.
You can't see it. You can't see what the pitcher's doing.
Count is 1-2 on Jeff Reveille. One man out, one man on. Top half of the ninth inning. Loyola Marymount leading LSU 4-3. And again, Gailey dives back.
See how he brings those hands together right from his legs? Again, if you're on base, now you can't, of course, see his hands because he's got his back to you. And if you're looking to get a jump on him, you have to anticipate when he's going to the plate. Sometimes you can do that by watching the hand movement. If you can't see the hands, you can't get a good jump.
Breaking ball called out on strikes. Got the inside corner. Reveille is called out, and 2 men are down in the ninth inning. Getch, after walking the leadoff man, has come back with 2 strikeouts.
Tough pitch. I thought this pitch was a little high and inside for Reveille. But Zivik gives him the call.